everybody. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the friggin' Looney Band. It's the pancake guy here. My name's Ian, but everybody here already knows who I am. We have we have a live moderator here tonight. Say hey, Sean.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Yeah, buddy. I think that name actually really fits you pretty good right there.
Oh, we've changed it again.
Oh, I love it. I can change his name all the time and he doesn't know. It's freaking amazing.
There's the moderator and the super moderator.
Right. No, tonight is going to be a hoot of a time. Sean and I have had a couple beverages already, which is totally Gucci. And for all of you watching right now, hey, this is out to all of you right now. Cheers, everyone. You. I am super jacked tonight. I could probably shut this sticker tape off because hey, we're here. Heck yeah, I see the slow Eddie is 5 hours ahead of time. He's usually in about the last 30 seconds. That's pretty rad. Credit, meow, meow. Think we missed a turn. Valkyrie. Oh man, BC Adventure Writers. Cheers.
Oh, Lance is here.
I know. What's up, man? So I have some news. Before we bring tonight's guest on. Wait for it. You got the AT-AT back yesterday. That's right. The AT-AT is freaking back. I rode yesterday. It was super freaking rad. It was like 6 weeks since I was able to ride, and it was dumb. That's all I got to say. But we'll get into this a little bit later. I crashed. So, anyways, I went down pretty freaking hard yesterday. So, yeah, that happened. But why don't we bring tonight's guest on here? So I'm going to go ahead and go, boop, bye, Shawnee. I know, damn it. Tonight's guest is from somewhere up north in Canadian land. He is actually so far north that his neighbor is actually Santa Claus. And apparently we've had a little bit of weather talk backstage waiting for this thing to, kick off. Yes, Valkyrie, pre-gaming. But might have had a little bit of a mild year so far. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Owen freaking Lush. What's up, brother? How are you tonight?
What's going on, buddy? I'm good.
Yeah, no. Dude, it's so hey, I really like that shirt in the background, by the way.
And I did my best to create like some studio space.
Well, I think it's really coming out and really looks good.
There's half a chance it may fall down. But
if it does, that is totally good. Totally good. That was a good sense, So, hey man, so super jacked, you're here. I think I reached out to you, maybe I don't know, like a month ago, maybe, or a few weeks ago, probably.
Yeah, ish. It was 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, we're just like, hey man, let's do this. And man, the first time we met was up at Critters event, the Get Lost Find Yourself. There's some of that brown water you got going on up there. But yeah, I mean, I've said it before. When I was able to finally meet you and I pulled up and you were there, dude, it was just like, holy freaking Lush. As I mean, you and I go back a bit on the chitty chit chats on the IG, and I was super excited to meet everybody there, right?
Same.
But it was like when I saw you, I was like, it was like I was meeting a rock star. I was like, oh my god, that's Owen Lush! It just went over it, dude. It was freaking rad. So
it's not like I got my own YouTube channel or anything.
Well, dude, you've got reels for days.
This is true.
Like 4 days. Critter, I tell you, man, I don't know about that comment. But yeah, dude, I'd like to get into your reels. So basically the format of this is going to be, it's really going to be alive, right? So we're going to interact with the comment sections and everybody that's in there, but also, I do the podcast thing. So I would like to actually kind of dig in a little bit about you and kind of make this a quote unquote live podcast with other shenanigans that just happen, right? So Sean was already asking you, dude, tell everybody who you are, kind of whereabouts on the globe you are, and maybe give us a weather update because Sean is totally geeking out about the whole weather up there. You know, he's like, "Do these like Santa Claus and these people? And what's the weather like?"
So we've actually, so I live up in Fort McMurray, Alberta, which for those of you that aren't familiar is well into like the northern third of the province. It's about 4 hours north of Edmonton.
Wow.
We've had an unseasonably start to our winter. I think just like most places are so far. It's not warm enough to still ride a motorcycle. Like the overnight low tonight, I think is calling for like minus 19 Celsius. I'm not sure what that converts to in Fahrenheit, but
Cold.
yeah, it's cold. And like the next, like I said, the next couple of days, Tuesday, Wednesday, are calling for about +5 Celsius, which is very unseasonably warm for late November up here. But it's gonna get cold here eventually.
For real. So I don't know much about it up there. You know, I just McMurray, the Fort McMurray. I've looked it up and kind of just, you know, checked it out kind of from where you are and stuff. But is it pretty? What's the common, you know, low temperatures up there in the wintertime? Do you get like minus
Uh,
50?
no, you'll see weeks like usually we'll get like a stretch or two of about minus 40 to 45. It'll last for a couple of weeks almost every day and night, like just consistent at that temperature. You might get one or two of those a winter generally, but minus 25 to minus 35, that's pretty standard for here in January and February.
Oh, son. Well, you know, that's not Sean's like, that's great weather for hippo hands. So
But
I
you know
mean, do
what?
you
There's no
guys
flies.
what?
There's no bugs.
Well, that's true. It's too
We got
cold
no,
for that stuff up there.
we got no
Yeah, for sure.
alligators. We got no tarantulas. We ain't got any of that shit.
Well, that's probably pretty good, man. Absolutely. So you're kicking it up there. You know, we ended up chatting a little bit, and I'm just gonna kind of say this a little bit. You were kind of talking about you're a little bit nervous coming on and stuff, but you know, as you can see in the chats, I mean, everybody here we know, like we personally know 90% of these people up here, right? When perhaps you got Hashimoto with his own temperature reads here, -2 pancakes, -2 pancakes. I freaking love it. Holy, -49. Dang, thanks, critter. Meow meow. So, yeah, man. So, how long have you been up in the Fort McMurray area? Is you born and raised there? Or is this something you moved to? Tell us about Little Owen.
No, okay, so I'm originally from Newfoundland, which is an island on the east coast of Canada, as far east as Canada as you get.
Boy,
Born and raised there, spent my whole life there. I moved
okay,
here in 2007, so Fort McMurray's been home to me now for 16 years, and it was basically a move made for work.
okay. That's pretty cool though. And you did you meet Mama in Newfoundland or did you meet her over there at Fort McMurray?
No, ironically enough, I met her up here actually, even though our hometowns in Newfoundland actually aren't that far apart.
Oh, hey, there you go. That's actually kind of cool that you moved so far. Ritter, I'm telling you. Um,
Does he need band yet?
right. You know, pancakes, Owen, waffles, buddy. Okay, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but anyways, you move over there for work. Pretty kind of cool that you moved so far because I would suspect just thinking about where Newfoundland is and then kind of where Fort McMurray is. Um, that's quite the distance to move. So that was a big move for work. So you don't know anybody up there. It was just kind of a blind move for work, straight or strictly for work.
Not at the time. I had plenty of I won't call them friends, but there was people that I knew up here
Right.
from around home. It's a fairly common destination for East Coasters for work.
Oh yeah. So what is it like? Is there a lot of oil or something up there? I really don't know anything about your area up there.
It
So
is
that's what I'm
entirely
curious.
based around the oil sands. So it's all big open pit
Yeah.
mining, big equipment, big plants. All the pictures that you see from Greenpeace, like they're all of us. They're not an accurate representation of us, but that's where they come from.
Oh
But,
man.
but yeah,
A lot of activists.
Yeah, it's 100% based around like open pit mining for tar sands.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's good to know, just kind of learning everything. So, living over there on the Newfoundland, right? So I'm really having a hard time because I watch a lot of Letterkenny and Shoresy. So it's like every time I hear Fort McMurray, I'm like, Bonnie McMurray. That's what I'm totally thinking about. But so you lived there for 16 years. So how old are you right now? I know we're not supposed to ask, but
That's all good. I'm
how old
37.
are you?
37.
Damn, son, you're getting old. You're almost at that 40 mark.
Catching up to you.
And I'm catching
We
up to
got
Sean.
ways to go.
Yeah, there is that. So born and raised over on Newfoundland.
Yeah.
And did you start riding motorcycles over there, or were you in Fort McMurray first?
I was in Fort McMurray for a long time.
Yeah.
The first motorcycle I ever owned was a 2019 CRF 450L. Probably should have hung on to the bike. I didn't. I can't remember who I was watching to get me into it. It was definitely YouTube influenced. Bought the bike. I have an issue with whatever hobby I'm into. I go all into. There is no, like I will look like a professional despite the fact I don't know what I'm doing. So I very quickly decked the bike out and realized very quickly that it wasn't a big enough bike for me and the kind of travel that I wanted to do. So I sold that and upgraded to the Africa Twin in 2020. But prior to that, I hadn't ridden a motorcycle. My wife actually did growing up, and I should have listened to her years ago when she said I'd love riding a motorcycle.
Can you repeat that? Oh,
Sean wants you to repeat that, so we can have it on tape.
should have
And
listened
then
to it.
I'll send you the audio that you
We
can
don't
make it
ever
real.
we don't ever record those things, Sean. Come on.
It stays on the live. Oh man. All right, so that's cool. So she was the big rider then, huh?
She
That's
was.
rad. Yeah, dude. So what kind of bikes has she got? I know we see pictures of her, but a lot of people that don't know just kind of leading them into to all things Owen.
Delete that, Sean. We can't have any evidence. But
Yeah,
so
done.
we started when we bought bikes and I bought the Africa Twin. We bought to her an Indian Scout. She really liked
Okay.
classic motorcycle. Seat height's nice and low, still a big bike, like engine wise, tons of jam on the highway, but it's very confidence inspiring, being able to touch the ground with bended knee. And so she liked that. And then this year, when I went and bought my GS, we actually bought her a 750 GS Sport. So,
Oh wow,
which is nice because it's nice and low. It's got the lowered suspension. So,
it's cool, man. So is that why you bought your GS?
is that why I bought my GS?
Yeah, you're like, oh, the wife has one. I need one too.
No, it was more a case where like I'm buying ones and timing kind of worked. She's been wanting to get into doing some riding with me like for a while. So, and I want her to get into doing some more riding with me. We did our first trip this past year. So it's it was a case where I went and like we just went to window shop and I saw the GS on the floor there and I liked it. And like she's always supportive. She was like, well, why don't you get it? And I was like, well, why don't we look for something for you? And we did, and they happened to have this one there, and yeah.
Dude, that's pretty cool, man. Isn't that the way it always starts? You're like, I'm just gonna go look, right?
Yeah.
Just gonna go look, and then you come home with it.
I have no
Yes.
good justification for owning two motorcycles at
What
all.
do you mean?
Other than the fact
All you need,
two is better than one.
exactly. All you need is I have two motorcycles. Looks like
Yeah.
Sean was about to say something.
No, I was going to say the same thing. You always need N plus one.
100%.
No,
Best number to own is always
Absolutely.
one more than you currently have.
For realsies. That's pretty rad, man. So once you started getting into motorcycles, you had the 450L, and you realized, like you just said, like, oh, I need a little bit better or bigger of a bike, right? So were you thinking like when you first started getting into it, were you interested in like kind of long distance riding? Because I think the classic argument is little bike versus big bike, right? And I've said this before, like my dad is trying to go more little, and
Yeah.
he kind of gives me crap sometimes because I'm not about the little bike.
Me either.
I'll ride the Adit like a 250, and I think a lot of people in the chat right now will contest to that. But it is a big bike. It is a heavy bike. But for the riding that I do personally, I prefer the big bike because going to Moab, for example, I just like to leave and I can ride to Moab,
Same.
right? I don't need to
Yeah.
trailer it, So the distance riding plus the gravel travel plus trails and plus everything, that is appealing to me. Now, other people like the little bikes and that fits their riding style. They're going to trailer the bikes to events and then ride trails or whatever and have the little light bike. That's rad. So you're still getting your bike originally, right? The 450L. And were you not knowing, or were you kind of like, I'm just going to do this? And then, oh man, I really want to do the more distant stuff because you've done some long rides, brother.
Yeah, I don't know what I really wanted to get in. Originally, I didn't even have my license when I bought the CRF, so I bought it and I decked it out for adventure riding, like I really did. Like I had a Reckless 40 on the back and bigger tank and the whole 9 yards. And but it was not something like you said, like for me, like just given where I live, like to get to areas I'm going to ride, like I'm a day, well, like the island, for example, like that's a 3-day ride, right? 2 to 3 day ride. Like you don't want to do that on, I shouldn't say that. I don't want to do that on a 450L. You can do it on a 450L, but you're not going to be comfortable, and all the power to the people that do it. But my thing is like, I enjoy like motorcycle travel. So like, I like to be able to get on the bike and I can disappear for like 3 weeks. If it has to be interstate, it can be interstate. It can be a highway. It can be gravel roads. It can be 2-track. And for me, I'm with you. I'll go with the big bike every time for that.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And, we just popped up Critter because I think there's people like Critter and maybe myself that are two polar opposites. I joke around saying I'll go ride the trails and stuff and ride my bike like a 250, but he'll ride Lucy like 1100, and do
Sure.
the long trips. So it just goes really to personal preference, And I think for the Islanders, especially, the little bike's gonna be a little more fitting. But for like what you were just saying, like if you want to go somewhere, dude, it's a day. If you want to go somewhere else, it's longer. And jumping on the highway, cruise control, 75, 80 miles an hour. It's just, man, the big bikes are pretty, especially, in adverse weather conditions, wind, rain, whatever,
Yeah.
just the more fairings keeps that stuff off you a little bit more. So pretty rad, man.
So to answer the question on the screen, yeah, so I've got some big rides and events planned for next year. I'm just hoping work will actually give me the amount of time off I'm going to need in 2024 to make it all work.
What was that, Jonathan?
So like the whole year?
No, not the whole year, but there's my team at work is pretty used to me disappearing come June and showing up again in October.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think all three of us right now, I mean, we're all going to be, the Get Lost Mind Yourself 2024.
Yep.
And that's an event that we're all going to be at, right? So, but you were talking about something too, I think, to remember. Trying to remember exactly what you were saying, but weren't you going to go on a ride like going south somewhere, or you're thinking about doing a ride going south?
I'm going to ride going north next year.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah, I've done south. Like I've ridden the Continental Divide, like all the way from Canmore, Alberta to the Mexican border. So the plan for next year in June is to tie that in to all the way as far north as I can ride.
And how far, like, you doing any plan on that? How far up are you going to be able to go, do you think?
The plan is all the way to Tuck.
Oh, yeah.
All the way up to Dempsey.
Yeah, that's going to be super awesome. Absolutely. That's definitely a dream ride for me too, getting up there. I really I'm drawn to the Arctic Circle.
Yeah.
And above it. And just something I'm like, yeah, that explorer in me, the wanderer, the wanderlust,
So I'm actually looking at I'm looking at starting So I've semi-booked it. I guess if I say this on here, then I'll have to do it. But I'm starting with a tour with a company based out of Ontario. It's a Yukon and Alaska tour for 9 days. So that'll be guided to the lodging, most meals, everything like that, all taken care of. And then once that tour's over, it'll end in Whitehorse in the Yukon. And from there, I'll be leaving solo and riding Dempster up to Tuck.
Dude, that is freaking awesome. But I don't know, man. That is just something I'm just like, I want to do that. So maybe I need to tag along with you and then somehow tie it to coming back to Critters event on the way south.
You're going to be riding for a while if that's the case.
Hey, that's fine. I don't mind. No, we got some other stuff going on that's going to interfere with that probably. But so you got that. And I'd like to find out a little bit more about that Continental Divide all the way down to the Mexican border there, man. I mean, that sounds like an epic journey. So was it like, is that a lot of just trails and roads and like off road, or was it more paved and kind of maybe probably a little bit of all? Right?
So yeah, it was a little bit of everything. So we followed GPS Kevin's tracks.
Okay.
For the Continental Divide. So we had his tracks. We were just following the line. We had no idea like what we were getting into. I was invited on the trip by a guy that I'd consider a friend that I met in Calgary, just through a group ride on a Facebook group. We went on a couple of rides. He was looking to do the Continental Divide, so he invited me, myself, and it ended up being 5 at the end of it. There was one guy that couldn't make it due to some work things that he had going on. But it was interesting because he was the only one I knew, and the other 4 were strangers. But they ended up being such an awesome group of guys, and yeah, it was an epic trip. It was probably, I'll say, 80% off road.
Wow.
And then 20% on road. I finished the last like 2/3 ish, maybe 3/4 of New Mexico on road because I actually had some trouble with my Africa Twin. But yeah, the route itself was like 75-80% off road.
Dude, that sounds so appealing. For real. So with that, what kind of issues were you having there?
So I actually had issues with the TFT, so the touchscreen, because mine, like yours, has got the electronic suspension, and it started glitching out, and I don't know why. I know there's been some, like just based on forums and Facebook pages, that like they've had some problems like with the 2020s and maybe some of the 2021s, but it was weird because it glitched out first and actually came back as like a DCT screen. Like I had DCT options, and I tried to get it into a dealer in New Mexico to get them to look at it. But of course, the day I started to go into the dealer, like it's fine. And then like a day later, like it came back as a base model Africa Twin with no electronic suspension options. Like there was a bunch of stuff that was gone. So I lost like all the sag in the rear. Like it wasn't, I mean, it's fine on the road. Like you can make do with it on the road, but.
Oh man. You know, I've actually, I've read some things online, the Africa Twin forum itself, that's actually been a thing. And like my deal too, and you might have had this too with the electronic suspension, the fork seals are junk from the OEM.
Yeah, so I did mine started leaking fairly quickly, like probably 6,000-7,000 K in, like mine were leaking. But I just cleaned. I brought them. It was actually, I can't remember what I had it at the dealership for, but they checked them and they of course said it needed to be changed. And then one of their maintenance guys, actually a mechanic, he actually came out and talked to me and he said just probably clean them up. And he said put some shock socks on them. So that's what I did, and I haven't had a problem ever since.
Yeah, I tried to do that with mine, but I tried to really get in there and clean them really well, but it was just like I went inside out of the garage, and like the next day I came out and I just had this pool underneath, and I'm just like,
yeah. So I haven't experienced that yet.
Yeah, and then of course I had, you have to buy special tools to even get the whole thing apart, so that is crazy. So Valkyrie, how's the keg cradle coming along?
There will be no keg cradles. There may be another keg, but no cradles.
Really? I was thinking maybe, just maybe, we might get an extra keg this year on the back of the bike.
I'll be bringing the GS this year, so I don't know.
So maybe we get Corey. Maybe we get Corey to bring it on the trailer.
Now you're talking.
Oh, there's a good idea. Yeah, we can bring that. But here's a problem though. If we get too many GSs there, Critter's gonna have to get Starbucks as an actual sponsor.
Well,
I
I'm
see
gonna
nothing
have
wrong with that.
I'm gonna have to bring coffee, right? So I won't have room for beer.
Yeah, right. That's true. They'll have to have one of their little booths set up. Oh my God,
Yeah.
we're getting a little deep there. Oh,
You're paying me for something.
he's doing stuff. It's pretty neat. So yeah, dude. So we got. I don't really want to say it, but I guess we have to talk about it briefly. I did crash yesterday, and it was a little bit. Dude, I went down freaking hard. I am not gonna lie. I went down freaking hard. So I went out exploring, and I was kind of having a bit of a day, to be honest with you. I was so excited. Oh, Corey, deal. He's bringing it on the trailer.
Nice.
That's awesome. But I was kind of having a day because when you only have so much content, right? So you start putting out all your videos and stuff, and then you realize, well, I need to get out there and make some more. And with the bike being out for about 6 weeks, while I was trying to kind of figure out some things, it's kind of like, holy hell, I need to do something. So went and picked the ad up. Sean actually took me over there, dropped me off, bounced, came back to the house, threw all the cameras on, and I was so freaking excited.
You wanted to ride Fender Bunny first, but
I thought that would have been great. Dude, if you're going to ride with me, you have to come and get me on the GS, and we're going to ride 2 up, and I'm going to film the entire thing. But he was like,
no, nothing but.
Yeah, I'm too good. That would have been freaking amazing short. Amazing short. But so I went, got all my cameras, and I took off, and I went up to Goat Mountain, and I really wanted to go explore this one particular area beyond, like, if you watch the videos, the 2 towers where I go up to the towers, where I make the right to go to the tower, I wanted to go straight. Went straight for about 400 yards and private property for a warehouser. And I was like, well, that's dumb. So I turned around, ended up just riding, found a cool little road and stuff. There'll be a little video on this, whatever. But on the way out, so Sean and I, about a week or so before, was it last week or something?
Veterans Day.
Yeah, it was Veterans Day. No.
Yeah, Friday, Veterans Day. I was off.
Oh, yeah. So it was. It was actually Friday,
That's what
Veterans
me,
Day
Veterans
here. We just took off in my pickup, and we went up there. We found a cool little lake and stuff. So I was like, I went out and did all this riding, and on the way back, I was coming back, but it was a little bit, it was cold yesterday. So in some of the corners and things, it was white and icy and stuff. So you got to be kind of careful or whatever. So, which I had a good day riding, and it was just that I'm on my way home. Oh, wait, no, let's just go to that lake real quick. Right. So there's this pretty steep hill climb that's super fun. I've done it a bunch. So I went up this hill climb, and I made this left turn. And when I got to the top of it and made the left, there was a bunch of people up there shooting. And I couldn't figure it out. This dude had I'm not going to say what he is, but he had a large firearm on his hip, right? And that's what caught notice of me. And then I realized, you're shooting 30 yards or whatever. Why do you have this 50 here, right? And
50 what?
BMG.
Okay.
But I don't know if we're supposed to say that or not on here because we're not a firearm thing. But
we're not selling nothing.
No. But anyway, so I noticed that I didn't have a magazine in it, so I was like, okay. But at the same time, I'm coming up and I'm making this really long, gentle, like almost a constant left turn. And I get up there and I broke the cardinal rule because everybody was turned around and they're all waving at me and they're like, hey, what's up, everybody? And we're waving. I'm standing up and I look over there. I'm like, hey, what's going on, guys? And so I'm looking to my right as I'm passing them and I'm making this corner. I've done this corner 1,000 times. And right when I turned around, it was no shit moment because it was just I was coming around to the smooth mud that was just frozen. And I hit that turn in the corner and my back end just came out and the whole bike came out from under me and I slammed down on my left side. Everything's fine. I can move, but it hurts on the inside. But it crashed in front of everybody that was there, like 10, 15 people. And it was crazy because I hit the ground, I turned around, and I rolled over onto my knees somehow, and I was doing like a systems check, like, am I good? I'm good. I'm good. And I don't know how these three dudes showed up, but man, they were on me so fast, like make sure I was okay. One of the guys had like an army patch on him. What was it, Sean?
First infantry.
Yeah, so they had one of those on there, and it was just this whole thing where I was just like, holy hell bags. So, oops is right. So, needless to say, I came home with my tail between my legs. Came home. So, there's the excitement part for yesterday. So, that was, dude, I don't even know how many times I've crashed now, like a lot. So, back over to Mr. Owen Lush, the guest here. You ever been down, bro?
Twice actually.
Yeah.
One was
Tip overs don't count.
okay, so one was a tip over. It was very anticlimactic, where I literally hopped the leg over the bike and my pants got caught in a foot peg, and things were just too things were just too far gone. There was no going back. I just had to let it go.
Dude, we've all done something like that.
The other time was actually in Montana on the Continental Divide, and I'll never forget the day because it was a tough day for me. Like, I knew out of the group of riders I was with on that trip, like I was the least skilled, and we got into a section of trail in Montana that got pretty technical, and it was a lot of 2-track, and it was going okay, and then we started to go down. Like, we started to drop into this ravine. We came into one hill that the first rider actually went down on right away. So did the second one. I went down last. I actually walked my bike down. One of the guys came and just helped me up. We just used the clutch and the brake to kind of get it down. It was super loose, super off camber. There was no good line down it. We got past that and we kept going down. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, what goes down has to go up eventually. And we started to go up, and we all had Cardos, the pack talks on our helmets, so we could all communicate with each other. And you could hear the lead rider, like the anticipation was building for what we were about to go up, because his tone and the urgency in his voice was changing drastically, like the farther in front of us he went. And a couple of them got ahead, and we got this one spot, and I just flat out ran out of talent. Like, we came around a turn and you had to commit to one line or the other. And I waited too long to make a decision. You know, originally I was going right and I went left. And when I looked left, like, there wasn't much room for error on the left. So last minute I was like, no, I'm going right, and lost too much momentum. And I slammed down pretty good on the hill. And mentally it wasn't a good day for me. Like, I kind of checked out at that point, but the guys were great. They recognized it. And a couple of Montonians? I don't know what you call them.
Montanians?
But a couple of locals anyway actually came along and were nice enough to tow my bike the last like 15 or so feet up the hill. So that beat, because there was no getting it up the hill from where it was. It was either go back down and try again, or like get up the hill. So,
dude, that's actually a little bit crazy, man. So
but that's the thing about this community. That I've been around a lot of riding groups over the years, and some will kind of, they're stuck up and look down on the newer riders. And really, the ADV community is like, hey, bro, you're on the ground. Stop. Let me help you. Don't even try to lift it. We got 3 of us. Let's go.
Yeah.
And they kind of wrap their arms around you almost and say, all right, brother, we got you, or sister, and let's go.
Absolutely.
Like at that point on that trail, like mentally, like that had probably the toughest day I'd ever been on the bike, as far as pushing my comfort and skill level. So I was at a point then where I was like, I couldn't. And I told them that I was like, I can't go back down and ride that again. I said, I just don't have it in. I was a bit shaky. Like, I was shaking up a little bit, and my own anxiety, just getting in my own head too. And so they were like, we were just going to unload the bike a bit, and one of the guys was going to take it down and ride it up. And then these 2 guys showed up in a Toyota Tacoma with a strap, and as long as we had the right political beliefs, they were down to help us.
Wait, Montana? Is that a thing? Yeah,
That's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this community is actually really good for just the support, even if some people.
Oh,
Whoa, what? No, no, you don't have to answer that. Oh, and we don't want to put you on the spot.
I'd have to go pancakes.
My favorite.
no little pockets for syrup.
No, see, the trick is that just like you put enough syrup on that they soak the syrup up. Like if you
Oh,
don't have enough syrup on your pancakes, you're not putting enough on.
definitely my favorite.
Over all the weeks of the same question, that's the best answer by
No,
far.
100%. That is absolutely the best for sure. Let's get that off the screen. By the way, what is up with your new name over here, Sean? That's crazy. Oh, he's changing
Oh.
it.
No, I was gonna say, hey, I'll take free Starbucks any day.
Yeah.
Oh, for free. Well, scare the audience.
You never know. Check your inbox.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, check your inbox. So what's really kind of crazy is that whole mental thing after you crash, because you do get that few minutes of like, I don't want to do that again.
Part of it part of it too was, see, it was a trail that honestly, like if I was on my own, like I would have turned around on and probably bypassed it. But but the guys were awesome. Like that, I couldn't have asked for like a better group of guys like to be with, like as far as being supportive and stuff. So no complaints there. I got in my own head about the trail. I've thought it so many times. I've never said it to them, but I'd like to have that day back and go do it again.
That is such a true statement right there, because I know every time that I've been down, if I go analytical about it, and I think about what I could do different or what I did do
Yeah.
different or whatever, and I just think you go over it so many times, the shoulda, woulda, coulda, is that maybe it kind of ends up being kind of I don't know, kind of a bad thought, because then you get too
Yeah.
much in your head.
And that's what it was.
So
I'd like to go back and do it again. Not because I
yeah,
might make it again. Maybe I would, probably a little better rider now than I was then. But
yeah,
even if not, like just to not let it get in my own head as much as it did at the time.
sure. Yeah, I get that. I kind of like Sean and I talked about my little thing yesterday, and I was telling him, you kind of trying to break it down. So I was standing up and I was making that corner, and was my there's a moment when you crash where it's black, right? You
Yep.
don't know what happened. I remember hitting the ground and I remember being on my knees, but I don't really remember falling and I don't remember getting onto my knees, right? So there's those moments that you just don't remember. But breaking it down, it was like when I turned the corner and that back end started coming out, should I have stayed standing up?
Yeah.
Could I have ridden it out, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Could
know.
you
I was on
throw
ice.
it?
Who knows? Or was my initial reaction to sit down when I felt that coming up, and it did the force of me sitting down slide
Yeah.
the bike out? Who knows? And I was super disappointed because I had the GoPro one right to that point. I was like right before I went up the hill climb, I was like, "Oh, I've filmed this already before. Just shut it off." And I was really disappointed because I would have liked to have that. That would have been mine for sure today. Bam.
Oh, whoa. There's a question on. Did you pass 500?
I did. I did.
Nice.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. I crushed. Well, I didn't crush, but I did. I broke that 500 mark 2 days ago, I think. I think I'm just up over 500. So I'm getting super, super close to being moderated. And I feel kind of weird on saying that, because everything was basically cut in half at some time. So we were doing this big push for Critter a while ago, right, to get him moderated. And it was like more, it was like 1,000 subs and like a lot more watch time. But, I have 330 some odd hours of watch time and I'm now beyond the subscriber base. So hopefully by Christmas we'll be moderated or monetized rather. You're moderating, but monetized. So yes, and everybody that's actually subscribed to me, man, I thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. For sure. Thanks, Critter. Meow meow.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
It is
Congratulations.
fantastic. Ding.
It's
Yeah,
huge.
thank you. I was wanted to talk about it, but same point, I'm kind of like trying to be a little like modest, even though I keep getting my phone and I'm like, dude, I'm almost there. I'm almost there, you know.
It's worth bragging about. You earned it. You know,
Thank you.
take the stage. I love it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Congratulations.
You put in the work for it. You earned it.
Man, appreciate that, everybody. Faux show. So, speaking of which, did I see something that you actually do have on YouTube?
I do. So
Have you?
I've had it for a while. I've never put any quality content on there. And being in front of the camera is not necessarily my thing yet. But one thing I wanted to work on over the winter is putting some longer form content on there, because Instagram, like, that really limits you to how long you can put on there. And the reality of Instagram is, if you want to actually grow on Instagram, like, your reels have to be anywhere from like 3 to 7 seconds, because that's the average person's attention span for an Instagram reel. So I decided to put together some better quality videos, some more widescreen than you do for social media for your phone, more probably for my own memories and records than anything else. If it goes somewhere, good. If not, no big deal. Like, I'll be able to look back at more from my rides than just a 6-second reel on Instagram.
You know, I think that's how most of us actually start. You know, I've talked to some quote unquote YouTubers. I've, you know, whether it's on a podcast or in person or whatever, and it's everybody seems to have the exact same answer. Like, when I started, it was exactly what you just said. I was just trying to document my riding for me, and it just turns into something. You know, I think that's a pretty cool thing. And I think if you already have that platform and your reels, I'd like to really get into those too, since we're talking about it, because your reels are stellar, dude. And you put them out like daily, seems like, you know.
Yeah, at least
Yeah,
once.
maybe twice a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stellar, man. So tell us a little bit about the process of you know, making your reels, and where it comes, because you got the 360 camera, which I think is rad, because you could probably take 10 seconds and make 3 or 4 different reels out of them from the different angles.
100%. Biggest reason I went to 360 is because I always found like, I'd mount a GoPro on my like chin for the POV mount on your helmet. And I found with the GoPros, maybe it's just where I'm tall, it would always be facing down. So I'd be riding and I think I'm getting this amazing footage. And I'd look at it after, and I have like 37 minutes of my fairing and a gravel road. And so the nice thing about the 360s is exactly that. Like, I can put 2 cameras like on my bike at once. Like, I can have one mounted on the chin, one stuck up on a bike somewhere, and like, I can literally take, like, if I get 30 minutes of footage out of that, like that's reels for like a month, easy.
Well,
'Cause
yeah.
you can twist it. The 360 is so good for me for the POV footage, because like, you can reframe it after. So like, it doesn't matter like if the camera is pointing straight out on my chin, could be pointing left, right, anywhere, it doesn't matter. You literally, I can just reframe it and set the keyframe, set it for tracking, and get that perfect like POV shot.
Yeah, man. I think that is it's stellar. And I have very, very limited experience on editing the 360 camera. You know, when we went to Giant Loop, Critter gave me some of his footage on the 360 for a couple things, and hey, dude, it's terrible. Like, the
So
footage is amazing, the camera is amazing. Me as an editor, terrible with that
yeah,
360 so far.
so
It's
it's
so hard to not get it fish-eyed, and to
yeah,
track it and ease in, ease out, so it's not thunk, thunk, you know, a
and
hard jerky move.
it depends on the camera too. So like, I currently have the One RS and the One X2, and I don't know the camera details like I like that much, but the One RS will always come out clearer, even zoomed a little bit, than the One X2 will, for whatever reason. And you're right. So it works very, very well for like what I do. Like, if you're just creating a clip for social media, Facebook or Instagram, whatever, like, then they're perfect. But from an editing perspective, like, I haven't really gotten into editing the footage yet of my One X2, but the RS seems to be like a lot better. Like, I just put up a YouTube video the other day. It's like 3 minutes going down the Oregon coast. It's just POV for the length of a song, basically, and it came out okay. I don't think I'll have that good a quality come from the 1X2, so I probably won't tie it in quite as much. There is more on the editing end with the 360s. Not a big lot. Like again, like with the level that I'm doing it at, like I literally like on the computer you use Insta 360 Studio, and like I'll just play my video, and if that POV is all I'm after, then you frame it for that. Like you get that perfect frame, and you basically just let your video play out for however long your footage is, and then you export that and upload it into YouTube. So it does
Okay.
take extra time. I see Craig just said that. Yeah, there's extra editing time, and somebody like at even like your level, like somebody doing it for vlogging purposes, it's going to add time for sure. And to
Yeah.
answer Valkyrie's question, so 360 GoPro makes a 360 camera too. It's just bigger, it's heavier. GoPro tends to have glitches. They've got a bit of a
What?
rough history. These Insta 360 cameras for me have been flawless, regardless of SD card size, brand. Doesn't seem to matter. Like I'm looking very hard at the new Ace Pro that they just came out with as well.
Yeah, for real. So inside the editing, before Sean goes up, inside Valkyrie, so inside when you're editing, so if you have um, different cameras of just the actual GoPros or whatever standard camera, action camera that you have, where you look is going to be what you're shooting. So if you're editing, you can just take that footage and you can drop it into whatever software you're editing on, have on your timeline. And that's all you get. So you can chop that up. So that's a lot. I mean, that's what I do. So
To
I don't
an-
have a 360 camera. So everything you see is just off my GoPro. Now, with off a 360 camera, like what Owen does, you actually have the 360-degree camera shot. So you can go into the editing. And like he said earlier, you can change the angle any way that you want and put it on that and edit that. And you can even put it like what we did with Critter on the giant loop. We were kind of coming down this road and I tried to edit it, and my skills were pretty crappy at the time. But you can take it, the camera. So the camera was on a tripod and we were coming from the camera right and we were riding. So I took that 360 camera and I made it kind of pan across as we rode by and down the road. So it gives you more options to edit, but it does take a little bit more time in the editing process. And I think it's like anything, as you do it more, you're just going to get more and gooder and gooder and gooder on it. So
yeah,
I
and
hope that was good enough.
to
Good
answer
enough answer there.
Quasimodo's question there too, yeah, it takes up quite a bit more space on your computer because you're going from footage like what you're seeing like right now, like on your screen for us, to like an
Yeah.
entire 360-degree view. So you've got like a video from a GoPro that might be 10 minutes, like compared to an Insta 360 is probably going to take up like 4 times the storage.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's bigger, and I run the big 512 cards. So
Yeah.
Sean,
Well, and I was just going to add, so I have a 360. It's the X1. So the original, you have the X2. We had some family over for Thanksgiving, and I was telling them about it and showing them how it worked. And one of the specs that I noticed on the X3 is that it can overwrite. So you can actually use the X3 version of the 360 cam as a dash cam.
Yep.
oh okay,
So you could run it live all the time and it'll just keep overriding. And to me, there's nowadays with safety and security, some people we know, Jeremy, he runs a dash cam and a trail cam down by his license plate. And in this case, you could buy just one thing and mount it up on a ram ball and not have to wire it all through your bike and sort of achieve that goal too. And then, oh, by the way, you have the footage for reels or anything else.
oh
Yeah.
boy.
To
So
answer,
real quick here, I guess my granddaughter is watching. Casey's over there, and Evie says hi, Papa. So hi, Everly. And every time she's on here, I have to do this. So I am really sorry for everybody, but Everly, I love thee, love the way you're so smiley. It's my little song I've been singing to her since she was born. So okay, so anyways, moving on behind that, I'm sure everybody just shut off their feed now after hearing that.
To answer,
Oh,
like Dave Venturemoto put a question up here too. Well, not a question. He said a recent clip I posted from behind the bike looked like a drone shot. So the cool thing about the 360s
yeah.
is you literally have like infinite zoom. So you can zoom out that your quality of your footage is going to be drastically affected, but you can zoom it in as far as you want. And you can also zoom it out to the point where like you get that tiny planet view. If you actually go back through some of my reels, you'll probably see a couple like that. It's ridiculous what they
No, fisheye look. Yeah. That stuff is pretty crazy. I think with the technology coming out and all the different cameras and stuff, I think it's ridiculous. The zoom quality. And it was kind of funny. Like I again, like I'm so thankful for everybody that subscribes to my YouTube. And I like watch some of my videos because a lot of people will put the video up and that's done, it's forgotten about, right? And every
yeah.
once in a while I'll go back to it and I'll watch a video or something. And I want to see something specific, like how did I edit this, or what did I do, or how could I do this different, or whatever. I'm trying to just. So I almost knocked my coffee over.
You're
But
drinking.
I remember I was talking with Critter, right? And I have the little, I don't even like the wind noise, little fluffy thing that goes on the side of the camera. So you got the camera and you got the microphone with the wind stopper on it. It's coming into my view. It just kept flunking into my view. And I was like, it's driving me crazy. And Critter's like, yeah, I just zoom in so I don't see it anymore. Are you kidding me? It's like easily that. Felt like an idiot when he said that. I was like, "Oh, that's a great idea, man. Yeah, that's great." And inside, I'm just like, "Oh boy, uh-oh." So Tiffany is in the house. Welcome, Tiffany. We got to spend a little time with her and Brian today, and we were concerned about Brian because there was some sort, I believe it was an orange substance on his shirt and in his teeth. Maybe it might have been red. I don't know, but we're really concerned about his color crown addiction right now. I don't know. Maybe we need to. Sean, are you okay over there?
Bless your heart.
Hey, he's drinking coffee. Yes, Owen. This is coffee, but the rest of the stuff is not. It is. It's all right.
The feminine tomboy, what is his favorite color crayon to eat?
Right. Inquiring minds want to know. That's right. So it's just go to Sean is ADV Oregon on Instagram. So if you're interested in buying him a coffee or sending, getting some of those pictures, just hit him up.
Yeah, box pictures and my Insta beards. Oh no,
Only
beards.
Only beards. That's right. Yeah. Well, she just we got a laughy face here, so maybe she's trying to not be, some sort of.
Oh, she'll play them.
Oh yeah, come on now, Tim.
And she knows the answer.
Oh boy, this is great. This is great. So, Owen, what's next for you? I know the weather's getting a little dicey up there to ride, as we were talking about, but what else? I mean, you want to go north. You already went south, and you already went west. Oh boy.
So next year, so that I have 2 big trips
Yes.
planned for next year. I'll have a bunch of side riding too. There's some big things happening in the Canadian adventure bike industry that you guys will see more of next year. But I can't talk about
I hate those kind of comments.
too much yet. Just keep an eye out.
And with that, we'll be right back. For a minute.
No, but so like I've got the trip north, so that's a big one for me. I want to complete that whole like north to south, like Canada, US, which is part of the reason doing that. I think the tour is going to be super cool, like 9 days riding with people you don't know, super chill. Like all you got to do is ride. Your lodging, your meals, everything's looked after. If you get a flat, somebody's coming behind you to help you change it. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
The Dempster probably going to be a bit of a solo run. That I think that's going to be cool. It's probably going to push me a little bit like out of my element to do something like that solo. Like that'll put me out of like the comfort zone, so to speak. So that's part of the reason I want to do that too. And then And then we're going to be then it's going to be the trip to the island, where I could potentially be hooking up with Craig, and we're gonna, like, I think we missed a turn there, and we're gonna ride out the Critters event and do that, and then from there we're going to I have zero plans after that, but the weekend after that is the Adventure Bike Gathering in Vernon. So we'll go from Critters event one weekend to the Adventure Bike Gathering the weekend after, and then I mean it'll be the end of September for me. So that's the end of riding season.
Yeah. So a couple things back and forth here real quick. To pile on with that, I think Papa Cakes, Sean and I, we were all kind of talking about maybe doing the backwards ride of what you did this year, getting down there, coming out of Bella Coola,
Yep.
and riding the ferry out, maybe.
So I did from Prince Rupert this year. So this this year. So next year it will be the ferry from Bella Coola to the island.
Okay. See, I would like to hook up with you, but on the backside of that event, I think I'm going to be up there about a week early, and so maybe afterwards. I don't know which way you're going, but I think afterwards we're going to make a loop and maybe come back, kind of coming down that way. But I really want to back up because you said something that really kind of grabbed my attention. Going up the Dempster Highway, and it's like you're saying it's getting pushed out of your comfort zone. So what is your comfort zone? What do you mean by riding up the Dempster Highway, getting out of your comfort zone? Is it just being a little bit more remote? Is
Probably.
it just the riding? Is it just more camping?
I don't think it'll be the riding. Like the riding is like it's a gravel road. Like I know it gets muddy, it gets soft, it gets rocky. I'm not too concerned about that. Out of my comfort zone, probably in a way that it'll be solo and so remote, and like having to kind of be prepared for anything. Like there could come a night like where you need to pitch tent behind a gravel pile in a gravel pit on the side of the road and hope you don't get eaten by a grizzly bear. Like that's outside of my comfort zone. Like it really is.
I think that's outside of everybody's comfort zone, honestly.
That and cougars.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the kind of cougar you're talking about, Sean.
Well, somebody put me there. That cougar at Critter Camp was
dude, that was crazy. Were you? I think that was the night that you actually got the hotel room.
It was. I did not get to experience the cougar.
Yeah, dude, that was insane. That thing was crazy
and close.
Yeah, really close. And it was kind of funny because it was right behind Papa Cake's tent, and he was like dead to the world. I'm out. So he was like, all right, that's crazy. So we did get an official answer. I saw it up on the screen momentarily. We need to have an intervention with Brian. Patriot USMC, or is it USMC page? No, it's Patriot USMC _ and with his addiction with color grounds. The red is really where it's at.
Yeah.
Is it like a raspberry thing or something, or is it like strawberries?
I've never tried them, so I can't answer that. But I know that his favorite is red.
Well, I'm just curious.
And so does Feminine Tomboy now.
Well, she kisses him, so. Okay, moving on. Before we get a little crazy. Bye. So anyways, comfort zone. We're all over the place right now, right? And what's good? Where's Owen? That's right. I should probably put my glasses on trying to read these things because I don't know if I'm saying things correctly. Oh, hey, I can see. Holy moly, kids. So it's not the riding, it's more the camping. It's gonna be a hell of an adventure going up there. And I really admire this kind of stuff. There's just inside jokes that just pop up on all of this. That's just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Even Owen likes them.
Yeah.
No idea your guest tonight was into it.
Hey, red is where it's at. Okay, there we go. So, one of the things that I always ask people on the podcast, and I'm actually very curious about, and before I ask you this, if anybody else out there right now has a rad question for Owen, we do have a moderator here. So go ahead and just ask the question. Let's get the conversation moving with them. We got at least about another hour. Oh, and by the way, I did see that Bubba J was having some pancakes. And anytime Bubba J is on here, we just got to give him a massive shout out and hope he's going super rad sauce today and eating his pancakes. Raptor Pack, did he make them, or were you guys out at a restaurant, or let us know where those pancakes came from. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not forgetting this, but there was a dude on YouTube's, right? And he put up a thing eating pancakes, right? Like some in Vermont, like this pancake challenge, and it was a beard meets food, right? I swear to God, I had like 50 people on Instagram freaking send that to me. I was like, my phone just started going bleep, 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 like for hours. I was just like, what is going on? So I was out driving. So I finally got out and started looking at it. I'm like, oh, it's the same video by everybody. Thank you for sending me that too. That was I love getting stuff like that. Yes and yes. So he made them, as what I'm assuming, and pumpkin pancakes today. Right on, Bubba J. I'm gonna have to stop by your neck of the woods down there. I believe it's exit 59, something. I don't know. Definitely check those out. So, Owen, getting back to the question, I asked this on my podcast to just about everybody that comes on because everybody has one, right? And I think as much as we like to ride, no matter where we are, we still kind of fantasize about other places sometimes. It's hard to do on the North Island. I got to be straight up. But what would be your absolute fantasy dream ride? And Sean's getting up, and I hope he's getting more beer. And what would be your dream ride that you want to do?
My bucket list is a mile long, and it keeps getting longer.
All right. Oh, dude, so is mine. But there's one ride that's on the top of them forever, and I don't know if it will ever be topped for me.
So a ride I've done or a ride I'd like to do?
No, a ride that you want, like your dream ride. If finances were not an option, if you can get all the time off from work, it's not an option, or it's not in the equation. You have all the funds, you have all the time in the world. What would your dream ride be? One and my number one and number two. My number two is a bit crazy, but
so my number one would probably be South America. Number two for me, and it'd be a close number two, and it wouldn't be as much off-road riding, but it would be Europe.
Dude, okay, that's more like my number 3, 4, something like that.
I'm curious what your number 1 and 2 are, but South America would be like top of the list for me.
So when you speak South America, like, is there any in particular destination that you would want to go, or is it just in general like South America?
I think the dream would be to have enough time and money to ride it from like top to bottom, like to be able to cross that off. Like, and I see that now because like now I've done the Continental Divide. I'm gonna do next year from like here north. So then it's like, okay, well then I got to get into Mexico, which is feasible for me. I think they could probably be Baja first, and but then like to get to South America, like the time and finances to do that. It's not going to be something I'll probably have for the near future to do a tour potentially down there, like possibly in the winter up here. Like that's something I could probably make happen in a few years and something I've considered. But other than the trips I'm going to do next year, big trips after that would definitely be probably a South America tour or to ride across Canada, given the fact that I'm from Newfoundland. Like it's also on my short bucket list that I'd like to take one of my bikes and ride it across the country.
Yeah, I think. Hey man, you just hand it to me. Thanks, guy. Yeah, I think for me, Ushuaia. South America. I think that is my number one end all be all trip, hands down. I think. we go. I think I don't know where I'd want to start. I've always wanted to do the Itchy Boots, but backwards start up at Prudhoe Bay and go down to Ushuaia. But I actually spoke with somebody who Alex Cajon was here at my house when he did a thing down at SW Mototech here in Portland. And he and I had a really good conversation, and he was talking about his trips down to South America and stuff. And he was kind of talking about the whole Mexico and Central America thing. And he was like, I would not do that. It's like in his eyes and stuff, it was like kind of the party area. And then you got the Darien Gap. And I guess that's super expensive to get around, kind of pain in the butt to get around. So I would want to start somewhere south of Darien Gap. I don't know where. I think I don't know if I'd want to start somewhere in like Ecuador or if I'd want to start somewhere in Colombia and ride down that way. But I definitely want to go down the Pacific side of South America, cross the Andes a few times, get through some of those national parks that are just gorgeous. And I would love to end up in Ushuaia. That is first and foremost.
I agree.
Yeah. I think just
that whole Patagonia area would be pretty
right. Yeah, that's I mean, just going anywhere around that Patagonia area. My dad, if you listen to the Papa Cakes podcast, he talks about being down there a little bit and stuff, and it's just, oh man, it's just gorgeous. What are we laughing at over here? Let's critter meow meow.
Something interesting about Newfoundland that most folks don't know.
Oh, yeah. Why you'd want to visit there?
Why wouldn't you want to visit there? Like, Newfoundland is an insanely scenic province. Like it really is. Like, if you like the ocean, I mean, I'm slightly partial to the West Coast because I'm closer to it, but as far as scenery wise, it doesn't get much better than Newfoundland either. Something interesting about Newfoundland that most folks don't know? Huh. I don't know.
Well, Gary, hanging out around the United States. That's pretty rad. 3 months. That's legit. We need to find out some more information about that, Mr. Gart. So what about, I don't know anything about Newfoundland, right? So all I've known from growing up, I don't know if it's a bad term or not. They call you Newfies. And you just said it's really beautiful. So, I mean, it's an island. So
you can actually
kind of
you can actually very easily. So if you were so here's one fact: if you travel to Newfoundland on your motorcycle, you could travel on foot right now. That's changing to France via ferry.
Wow! Wait, what?
Yep.
Seriously, that's cool.
How far is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna honestly Google the name, but just south of Newfoundland is the islands, the islands of Saint Pierre and Miquelon, and they are actually part of the country of France.
That's wild.
Yep.
I did not know that. I think that'd be pretty rad.
Yep.
Zip on over there.
Yeah, it's literally like a short ferry ride away, and you're in France.
Yeah. Okay.
There's also
maybe we all need to do that.
There's no straight roads in Newfoundland. Like, there are no big highways. Like, the main highway across the island is mostly just a single lane highway, and there's literally no straight roads, and there's so many small towns everywhere. I think it would be a phenomenal province on a motorcycle. You might not find all the dirt if that's what you're looking for. Excuse me, but there's more now than there used to be. But it'd be a beautiful province to ride on a motorcycle. And yes, you'd have to get screeched in while you're there. Explain?
Screeched in. Yeah.
So it's a whole process. So there's certain bars do it better than others. Basically, you'd have to take a shot of Nuvi Screech, which is actually Jamaican rum. You'd have to wear a sou'wester, which is a yellow fisherman's hat. Kiss codfish, and there's a saying involved that you have to repeat, and you'd get a certificate, make you an honorary Newfoundlander.
It sounds like that terminology might have been censored for YouTube.
No, that's about it. There's a shot of rum involved, a sou'wester kissing a codfish, and a Newfoundland saying.
Okay, okay. That sounds great. It's a process, right, Jonathan? Dude, I think I got another ride on my bucket list now, especially going over to the, quote unquote France. That would be rad. Now,
Yeah,
once upon a time, was that?
I was gonna say they're actually right now. You can't it's foot traffic only. The ferry
Yeah.
itself doesn't support vehicles, but I know they're working on changing that.
Even just riding over there to walk on the ferry would be pretty rad and just
Yeah,
cruise on over
I've
there.
never done it, but it's on the bucket
Right.
list.
Just be like, oui, oui, I love the flow. So, oh boy,
That's a
that's
possibility.
yeah, yeah.
The accent
Okay.
changes drastically across the island.
Well, you came up with the term when I met you. Well, you didn't come up with it, but you told me about it. You want to let everybody know how to say it correctly?
Tried to get you to say hey, bye.
Hey, boy.
That's close.
I always feel like I'm like Jamaican or something, so I kept coming up to you. I'm like, dude, is this right? Is this right? You're like, you're getting closer.
No, you're close. You're close.
One of these days I'll get on there. Hey, Craig, somebody's saying later to you, so it must be that you're bouncing out. Appreciate
Thanks
you
for coming
stopping
out,
by,
Craig.
man. Yeah, dude, absolutely. Critter, he might get banned.
Somebody get him some waffles.
I know he really needs waffles, right? So, heck yeah. So you were talking about a couple of your other bucket list stuff. I mean, I think the Ushuaia, the South America would be absolutely stunning. And I'm a bit crazy. I have this absolute wanderlust in me, and I want to be lost somewhere in the world with nowhere to go, but heading somewhere, right? And I don't know why, but every time I see something about this country, I'm always like, yes, I want to go there. So at some point, I think it would be amazing to ride across Mongolia. It's so remote, so far out there, so crazy. Like that is just so absolute, like, yes. So, hey, Eric, what's going on, brother? Would you recommend heated grips or hippo hands or both? Both all day, kid. I don't know why this is a question.
You got to pick one.
Totally both.
I commented if you got to pick one, you go with the heated grips first,
Okay, yeah.
and then the
I
hippo
think it's
hands
really great
are
because
nice addition.
I put my hippo hands on yesterday, and I was like, I hemmed and hawed over it actually for a minute. I was like, I don't know if I should or if I shouldn't. And then I was like, yeah, just do it because they're so freaking easy to put on. So I put them on and I did that. I was like riding down the road. And I was like, God, this is really nice keeping this cold weather and keeping the temperature off my hands. And then I just found myself playing with my thumbs, and I was like, oh, my heated grips are on 3 now. It's an amazing thing. You got to have them. Hey, Sean, as a moderator, okay, I think.
Well, am I not supposed to highlight those the waffle-y comments?
I think she's kind of pushing it.
But I just brought you a beer, so I mean, you got to bring up both sides. I mean,
That's
waffles
true.
and pancakes is always an issue.
But we really just went through with Owen's answer. I mean, we crushed the whole.
Well, no, that's true. But it took Owen, to hit it out of the park.
It really did. It really did. So, we'll go ahead and bye. And then we're back to here. Yes, absolutely. And another thing is, Eric, we got to ride pretty soon, man. He and I texted him one day and I was like, hey, man, let's go for a ride. And then I went out to my garage and I was like, oh, I have blown seals. Never mind. Oh, boy. What is? Oh, yeah.
This is another justification. Perhaps
was that? We have neighbors outside. We have a window open because it's like 5,000 degrees in here, and so our neighbors are partying. So Sean and I are both like, "What's going on out there?" But yeah,
Zach,
What? So hippo hands are game changer. Summer gloves in the winter is amazing. Yeah, I mean, if you're weird and like to ride your summer gloves all year round, but yeah, you can do that.
Wait, you don't? I'm kind of curious on that.
Actually, I don't because I wear my winter gloves. I do wear my winter gloves when I put my hippos hands on. I think it's just I think just for me when I go out into the garage and I'm getting ready to leave, I open up the garage door and it's just kind of like, oh, it's cold outside. So I just put my winter gloves on because I can have my grip heaters off and be comfortable. Or if it gets colder, I can turn my grip heaters on and be comfortable. So I think just having a little thicker gloves are fine and they're waterproof. And sometimes I have the hippo hands on there, and even though they're still big, sometimes I get a little lazy with the hand or something, or move it out and still get wet, and they're quote unquote waterproof.
See, I kind of went kind of the opposite direction. I used to do exactly that. And my summer gloves, I have a particular pair of gloves that are, they're amazing. They're soft and I like them. They're comfortable. I have a lot of dexterity on the buttons. And so I started putting the thicker winter gloves in a pannier on a cold day. And then just continuing to ride with my summer gloves. And I found I never grabbed the thicker gloves out of the panniers.
Okay.
So for me, it was all about dexterity and the button control, things like that. All our bikes nowadays tend to have a lot of buttons for whatever. And it's the same feel day in and day out. I don't have to kind of adjust because these gloves are a little tighter or those are a little puffier, that sort of thing.
Okay. Well, see, for me, my summer gloves and my winter gloves, they're both really comfortable. And my winter gloves are not super thick anyways. They're not like super cold weather, so they're kind of a medium. But my summer gloves, I have the Revit, what are they, the H204s? And so from about here all the way back into my hand, it's just basically an open vent. So even you have the hippo hands on, you're still getting some of that breeze coming back and it gets kind of chilly. So not the kind of glove that Owen would have to be wearing when it's -50 outside. So do you, if you have a nice day outside and it's a bluebird day and the roads are dry, do you hop on the bike when it's cold and go for a ride? I've done that before, but it was only in the 20s here. So that would be like negative a couple of degrees for you.
No,
maybe.
No, once it gets cold, that's it. I'm done.
That's it. You do anything in particular to winterize your bike, or you just put it on a trickle charger in the garage?
No, yeah, I've got a heated garage. I don't keep it like as warm as my house, but I always keep it like relatively warm. So yeah, trickle charger, and that's it.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think Tall Man's here. What's up, Matty Matt? Is he starting crap already? I just say career moto. Listen here, bud. Matt, we're actually really curious. Are you and your girlfriend okay? And you had a live, and she sold your chair, and I think everybody was super concerned about your relationship status. So just let us know, okay? Hope everything is okay. And cheers to you, brother. I'm so happy the Wanderers are here. I haven't said what's up to you guys yet, but I see you guys in the comments. What's with Chris?
Chris is trying to do everything he can to get banned tonight.
I know. I guess we'll just start talking about him. Okay.
Who's ADV Valley? Where does he live? I love this. Owen.
So that's Brandon. So Brandon actually lives up here in Fort Mac, and he's
Nice.
part of our local ride group, Ride North Moto. Some of you guys got stickers in September. They actually do a big ride every winter in like January or February where they ride their dual sports studded up the winter road to a reserve that's, I don't know how many hours it takes them to get there on dual sports, but yeah, they do it to raise money for the SPCA. They actually do like a full-on like winter like studded tire ride.
That's rad. That's rad. So they need to come to the island too next year.
He does.
I can tell you, that thing's gonna sell out in a lot of weeks.
It's not going to make the. That's why I commented when Critter put it out. I said this thing is not going to make the public tickets on February 1st.
I don't think it is at all. And Corey, I'm so happy you and Small Man are expecting. That's beautiful. You two are meant for each other. Yeah, man. So, oh, what's going on now? Oh, when are you getting more stickers, Mr. Owen?
I need a logo.
Yeah. There's a few people on here on Twitter that might be able to help you with that.
I've heard
Critter.
designing logos.
Yeah. So, yeah, dude, you need to get some more stickers, and then you just need to throw it on there and just start doing sticker swaps. That's how I started. I wasn't really too sure. I just was, hey, you want stickers? And it was like in my inbox, all of a sudden people were like, yeah, dude, let's sticker swap. And dude, I was sitting in like, I mean, like everybody does when you started, man, like Germany and Japan and, all across the States and Canada and Mexico. And, I was just like, what the hell? This is rad.
It is pretty cool. Yeah. I need a design. I've played around with AI a little bit, like to come up with designs. Some of you probably saw it on my Instagram a little while ago. I haven't really settled on anything yet. So
Yeah, I got really fortunate with my logo. So my son, when he graduated, there was this girl. She was dating one of the football players. Blah 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 blah, and she ended up being like a graphic designer. And so we were just for a while. We just were following that whole group of kids, as they were growing up. And so we saw her go to University of Oregon, become a graphic designer. And I just reached out to her. I was like, "This is my thought." And she came back with a couple designs, and I was just like, that one. I freaking love that one. So I'm sure you'll get, when the right design comes around, you're gonna be like, yeah, that one right there is the one.
yeah.
Oh, show. Oh man. What's going on with what am I seeing here, Sean? A bunch of tall man and small man doing their thing together or something?
Yeah, it looks like Matt's awful chatty tonight, So he's sticking up for Corey. It's good. Well, one of the Corys.
Yeah, no, I think it's a pretty good.
Frank does logo artwork for a really reasonable price. That's really important.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. Are they here? Or Kevin and Summer on here? I haven't
seen them at all. No.
But yeah, they have a really good Up Every Road on Instagram. That's a pretty rad page. And they got a good logo on that. I was just actually looking out on their page last night, looking at the logo.
It's very cool.
Okay, this ugly mug needs to go. Okay, here. So, Owen, what else is going on with you, man? We got we talked about your dream trip and stuff, and growing up over on the island. Moving over to Fort McMurray. And sorry, Letterkenny for days. But now it's wintertime. So what are you going to do for like reels and stuff? Do you have enough footage and stuff? Are you going to be kind of getting a little bit more creative? What can you look forward to through the winter months with Owen Lush?
I've got a lot of footage. I don't have as much as I'd like. I shouldn't say as much as I'd like. There was a lot of cases last year where I'm like, I should have had a camera rolling.
Yeah.
Which I didn't, but I've got a lot of footage. I'm going to be uploading a lot more short stuff to YouTube. So like basically extended versions of my reels, like anywhere from like 2 to 5 minutes long on the YouTube channel. That's about it, man. I got some bike upgrades. I got a couple of boxes of goodies out in the garage for both mine and my wife's GSs to go on. That'll keep me busy for a couple of days. So,
like what you got in mind?
What have I got out there? I got a bunch of Outback Motor Tech goodies. Actually, is what I have.
Well, there you go.
The GS is
just a little
skid plate and crash bars and a whole rear rack and getting rid of the pillion seat and the 750 GS of my wife's is going to get crash bars. It's already got a skid plate on it, but it's going to get crash bars too.
It's pretty rad. Yes, Matt, it's on fire, 100%. Look out! So, one of the things that was actually brought up, and I got to get on my phone here real quick because Jonathan sent me something here a little while ago, and we are kind of just talking about show prep and stuff. But he was like, "Hey, man, what is with that Moto app that you're kind of sporting up on there?" I don't really know anything about it, and it's been kind of popping up a little bit. So, if you're sporting something, it means it's something you got to kind of believe in, right?
So I do. So that Moto app was actually started by a couple of guys that have they've got a whole team behind them now. But if any of you guys have ever been to the Adventure Bike Gathering, if you haven't been, you should. So they've started an application that's for everything motorized, really. So it's not just two wheels; it's four wheels. It's it could be quads, could be side by sides, could be snowmobiles, any of it. And you can go on, you can follow people on there, you can be people's buddies. It's got a cool side GPS app on it as well, which is super neat. So like if I go ride a track, I can share it on there. And if you follow me or whatever, I can decide at what level I'm going to share it. But you can literally go download that track right from my account on there and go ride it yourself. You can see my photos from it. You can see any notes I might have wrote from it. You can also upload your user manual to it as PDF to have offline. You can record all your bike's maintenance. It's got a page on there as well for modifications. So like I've got my bikes on there and a list of the modifications I have on there as well. So like if say you saw somebody's bike and they're like, oh, that looks cool. It's like, well, what kind of crash bars does he have on it? Or what kind of fog lights does he have on it? You can see all that on there. It's a currently computer based application. So it's kind of browser based. Very quickly here, going to come out to iOS first. It's going to come out to the iPhone first, and you'll see it for Android very soon after. It's super cool. For me, it's almost like the trips I have on there. I don't have enough on there, but it's almost like a blog more or less. So there'd be pictures on there from trips, plus like a big description on like the ride. I do have some on there actually from the Get Lost Find Yourself last year, but it's a very cool spot just for motorcycles and any other off-road activity you might be into. It's yeah, they got more features coming for it. And yeah, it's super cool. You do need a code to get in, and you can actually use my Instagram handle, Owen Lush ADV, to get you in.
Is it Owen Lush ADV or Owen Lush?
No, just one word, no underscore.
Just one word. Okay, good to know because I want to go and do that. So you say they're coming out with the iPhone first, right?
Yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense because the iPhone is very primitive to the Android, so they have to get all the basic version for the iPhones first before it comes out with the real version with the droids.
Yeah.
But I think that sounds pretty cool. So being able to track and check things out that you want to do, getting the notes especially is really rad. Because if you're like, I wonder, can you change colors, for example? So you're like, say your whole track is blue, but you have a little bit of a red in it, for example. You could be like, dude, like the red section is friggin' stupid steep. Eat your handlebars.
Yep.
This is a black diamond or whatever. Can you do something like that with it?
Yeah, so the application part so far, like the actual app, is called Sidecar. It's the GPS app. So if you're looking to develop routes, it's not that. It's not that. Like it's not what like potentially not yet. It's not what Backroads Mapbooks or Gaia is for developing routes. But if you set it to track, like again, like you can upload as many tracks as you want onto it from other people's accounts. Excuse me.
Cool.
And yeah, you can absolutely change the color. So like you can have multiple tracks on your screen, but the one you're riding, you can change it to whatever color you want.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that's something that's
very cool.
Definitely going to be rad. I like being able to, see what you're doing or getting, like I said, the notes, I think would be
Yeah,
astronomically
it's
more
gonna have
accurate.
it's got a whole events page on there too. So like I always refer to bike related because that's just my thing. But
Yeah,
like any bike related
of
event,
course.
you can post information on there. You can follow an event. You can say you're going. It's a good spot to share information about that too.
Hey, I'm gonna go get some pancakes, everybody. Meet me here. Yeah, it might be a kissing cage tomorrow morning about 9 o'clock. But anyways, Sean's thinking, he's like, oh, I think I might be there too. That's good. What's Critter saying here? It's gonna be something. I'm just thinking literally, man. So we got the cool little moto app. We've got some Owen Lush. What's coming up? Sorry, I'm just trying to get comfortable in the chair here. That's pretty rad. Anybody else have any other cool questions? Oh, Sean's actually typing over there. He's got his tongue out and everything. He's thinking. He's trying to sound out his words. Man, I love that Owen Lush is like keeping up in the comment section too. He's just like bouncing.
But yeah, no,
So,
he's right. Like what Critter's got there, like they've put a lot into this, and they're putting a lot of work into it. And
that is true.
trust me when I say those guys got some big plans and big ideas, not just for that moto app. Just to refer back to
Yeah,
my comment of some potential new things coming to the Canadian adventure motorcycle scene. So
it's pretty rad, man. So we have a ADV Oregon. I don't know where this guy's located at the moment, but what's the day in the life in Owen up there in the wintertime?
so when
Hey,
it's
Kevin,
super,
summer.
super cold, it's not much of a day. It's dark a lot.
Yeah,
Sun, like you get to that real short day of the year, December 21st, you're looking at like 6 or 7 days, 6 or 7 hours of sunlight. So the sun's going to
wow,
come up at like 9:30, go down like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
that's
It's
rough.
cold. You don't really do a lot. Like work is different. It's unfortunate that not unfortunate, but work has to go ahead. But we do things differently in the wintertime. Like we have specific rules set as far as how long somebody can spend outdoors for set periods of time.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tallman, he is in Fort McMurray, Canada. That's what, Alberta?
Yeah. Northern
Oh, look
Alberta.
at me. Northern Alberta. Um, what's the time limits you guys can spend outside? So is your job mainly inside, you know,
It's a
working
lot of
outside?
my job is mainly inside. So so I look after a team. So I'm what they call up there like a shift team leader. So I look after a crew of anywhere from like 15 to 18 people that look after various things, and it's all related to tailings. So for those of you that aren't familiar with tailings, like it's basically like once after the oil has been separated from the sand, like something has to be done with the water and the sand, and that's what we do. So I look after like massive like pump houses, pipelines. Like we've got some on water equipment, like we've got a couple of big dredges. We've got heavy equipment that manages the sand in certain places and just moves dirt. So it's a lot of moving parts that in the winter isn't such a good time, but we make it through.
Sounds like kind of an interesting job,
It
but it
is.
also
It
sounds
is
kind of brutal and for
cold.
sure.
It's not so brutal for me. It's brutal for my guys.
Yeah, for real. Being outside. So what is the time limit outside?
Don't quote me, but I believe when it hits like minus 40 with the wind chill, like I think it's like maximum like 10 minutes per hour.
Oh,
Like
no
it's
kidding.
right
That's
around there.
short.
So you can work
That's
outside for
short.
like 8 to 10 minutes, and then the rest of that hour is you're just indoors.
That's crazy. So something that cold. I know that in South North Dakota, the guys will go to the mall or something, and they just leave their cars running all the time. Is it very similar up there? Is there a lot of inside parking, or
Yeah, similar up here.
yeah, just let it run? not freeze up. Oh, what am I looking at, Sean?
Oh, we get Summer and Kevin in the house
I
now.
know, Summer and Kevin.
Okay.
I did see something. Kev, did you crash today? Are we crash buddies? Because I crashed yesterday. So there's that. Yeah. Oh, hey, Kennedy. Welcome in. The favorite two up lady back there. She's stinking Lily. So, hey, Kev. So I saw something up here. Somebody asked me a question, I think. I don't know who it was. I just saw something. I think it was it? I don't know.
Oh, look, you keep talking about Kevin's new bike.
So what was Kevin's new bike? I didn't see what it was.
I think I
Come on,
saw
Kev.
2X250.
2X250? Dude, he's upgrading. That's pretty rad. Excuse me. I want to know a little bit more if he went down. Oh, the 12-year-old in me has jokes. So, yeah, buddy. Oh, cool. So, not a lot of riding, obviously. And then, what do you get out about? What? March, April, May is riding season again.
So
June.
May is hit or miss. It
Yeah.
really is. Like May could be snowy, or May could also be like plus 20 or better Celsius. So, which is
Yeah,
around like
okay.
65 to 75, 80 degrees, like Fahrenheit. And it's really a swing season, as is like October up here too. Like we had like this year, like we had a phenomenal October, and we're unseasonably warm even for November. But
Yeah, it's actually down here for right now, and right now I got to put my truck driving hat on, right? So, we've had a pretty moderate season so far. But a couple of trips ago, I was down in Texas, and I went to Texas and I went up into like Oklahoma and stuff, and it was like 70 degrees or whatever it was, around 70 degrees, give or take a few degrees. And the very next day, I was in Nebraska in a snowstorm, like ice everywhere, pouring down snow, and it was just like, what just happened here? Like overnight, literally went from summer to, I didn't get spring. I just went from summer to like winter. And now I'm getting like my other truck driving friends, like Mike and Reed and these other guys, and they're sending me all these pictures and all these things out of like Wyoming. Oh, I-80's closed now. So, dude, the weather is just crazy. It sounds like maybe we're like in this bubble, or maybe it's coming under you and keeping you a little bit warmer or something. But dude, it's here now for us. Okay, put my motorcycle hat back on. Sean is he's got big eyes.
Just thoroughly amused at the chat.
Okay. I'm
well,
not really keeping up with it, so
yeah, Mr.
Yeah, it looks
Shadows.
like Kevin, it looks like he ground up his giant loot bags a little bit. I'm a little surprised at that. And
yeah.
Valkyrie made a comment about racks being broken in Kevin's bags.
Oh, no.
Brokeback Mountain and Thomas.
Well, first of all, Kevin, I hope you're okay, bro.
Well, second of all, holy shit, this is funny.
Yeah, no, I hope you're okay. But also, I do believe there's a certain ambassador for Giant Loop that lives on the island. I forget his name, Kitamoto, and I do believe he was either sent or going to be sent the new logo, so everything's like new. So he might have some old bags for sale.
Well, wasn't he the one that was promoting waffles earlier, though?
It's all good.
Yeah, glad you're good, Kevin.
Yes.
Those little get-offs are never fun.
Yeah, no, they're not. I had my own. They were late, so yeah, I had my own little crash yesterday. So yeah, 1.6K per 1 mile. Yep.
Yeah, we got to do math now. If you put that stuff in the chat, I don't
Dude,
need to do chat on Saturday night.
To answer
Emily?
Mr. Shadow's question that you had up a little while ago, whether or not I'm coming back to the States this year, I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
I don't know. The two
Well, you
big trips
should.
I have planned are like from here north, and I don't know if I'll be in the U.S. this year or not. Maybe.
You know, if you ever come down here to Oregon, you got a place to stay
Oh yeah, I'll do
for
that someday.
sure. And I'll show you some of the back roads out here. Pretty rad. You know, it's like when people come down here, like Critter did it before I met him, and I kind of watched his videos on where he went. I was like, oh, dude, you just missed a whole rad section of road. You know, it's just because people don't, you know. So yeah, man, be super freaking. We'll stick that up some more. So we still got 22 people here hanging out with us, going, what is going on here?
Yeah, you're growing.
Well, you know. Oh, hey, Steve Higgins, you're back. You didn't like your name?
Just keeping everybody honest.
Keeping it real. That's fantastical. So, Owen, what is your number one reel that you put up on the Instagrams? How many little views did that little bad boy get?
Oh, this is kind of funny. So a while back, I was actually on my way to the island, and I posted a reel of a train. My page is full of bike content, and I posted a reel of a train going by, and the conductor was cool enough to blow the horn as he went by. And that thing has 140,000 views.
Holy moly, dude.
My
That's
next
insane.
my my next closest bike one is actually one from the island. It's the one where I put up it was about the logging trucks. That one
Yeah.
that one hit 20 over 20,000. I think it's at 21,000 or so now, but the train like completely blew the rest like right out of the water. I'm like, all right, I'm just switching content. Everything's going to be about trains from now on. But
It's crazy how that goes. You know, you build your channel over motorcycles. That's your passion. And then one day I took a slow motion clip of some hummingbirds at a feeder, and I think it's by far double or triple.
I've
next
tried
reel.
everything because like you see how often I post on Instagram, so I've tried to keep things very similar, like similar captions, similar hashtags, similar time, similar views, similar time I've posted it, and like it just does not seem to matter. There are certain things that work, like there are absolutely certain things that make a difference,
Yeah.
but for the most part, it makes absolutely no sense.
So, Critter, I'm going to ignore this and I'm going to ask Critter a question right now because it ties in with this conversation right now. So, for those of you that don't know, Critter also has Critter Carpentry. That's his business that he owns. And he put a video up of him like soaking some tiles that went completely viral. Completely viral. And so, Critter, put in the comments, where's that thing at right now? Like, it's a ridiculous amount of views. Like, I think it's like 3 million or something like that. Like it's redonkulous. So Critter, put that up right so we can see it. Dude, 5.3 million views. Dude, that is insane. It is insane. It's just him soaking some tiles. It's freaking awesome. Super awesome. I just took down a comment from somebody. Sean put it up. Jonathan. I don't remember what it was. Critter also. Yeah, dude. This was a trip, dude. This was freaking rad. And oh, and you need to come down here and do some riding around. We could do some really rad stuff for some motorcycles and trains. No,
Oregon's on the list too. It's on the ever growing bucket list.
I tell you what, man. In all honesty, what you should definitely do is you should plan in the next couple of years coming down the Giant Loop, and then you come down here and stay with me. And Sean's down the street and stuff.
Nice.
We'll do a thing. We'll hang out, and then I'm sure Critter can show up and whoever, and then maybe Summer and Kevin will actually have their passports by then and come down too. And we can just do an epic ride over the Giant Loop, and then when you're at Giant Loop, every ride's awesome there, and then we could ride home. I mean, it's going to be fantastical. for sure. Yeah, right here.
It will
This
definitely.
is not yeah,
The only Oregon I've ever ridden was this past summer, and that was down the coast. So
it's past summer, and he didn't even message me. Be like, hey man, I'll be in your neck of the woods. Okay, I'm too busy filming trains and trying to get boom booms here.
I was with a couple of buddies from work actually.
Okay. And what Sean's point when it says, I just see man.
Well, I mean, last time I got in trouble. Well, hold on, let me put my picture up. But there, I mean, last time I put anything waffle related, I got in trouble and it was demoted. But I mean, let's see.
It's don't know what's going on.
Chris says we can all get together and eat waffles. Bye. Should we ban church?
He's getting close, man.
More strikes.
Summer's in the game too. Summer's on. I thought you were better than this.
Cleaver's fine. Yes, you can pump your own gas in a car now in Oregon, not only a bike.
Yeah, it's new. It's pretty neat.
What?
Why?
They have
50% of the pumps now are self-serve and 50% are full-serve. Bikes have always been self-serve.
Yeah, so it was Oregon and New Jersey were the two states left in the United States that actually had gas attendants where you would pull up and they would fill your tank up for you. And just recently, it was actually the beginning of this year. Yeah, brand new that people were just like
July.
Yeah, you're right. It was July, where we can actually legally pump your own gas.
And now there's a ballot measure to reverse it.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That is stupid.
Yeah.
I think it's super nice because you go to some of these gas stations that just always have these long lines, and it's like the long line is over at the the attendant stuff, and then where you can do your own, it's just everybody's in and out.
It's like I can't remember.
Oh, and so I guess my question, you put it in the chat. I mean, describe your Oregon hippie experience.
Yep.
There was a few van lifers on the coast for sure.
No, not in Oregon. That's new.
And also, like it was weird, like in the States, running into so many places where like they wanted to pump your gas. Because in Canada, like I couldn't tell you the last time I pulled up to a pump and had somebody come out and want to pump my gas. So I go into the US and I pull up to a pump and I pull right up, like most of you guys probably do. You just pull up super close on the bike. And I don't even get off. And all of a sudden there's some guy walking out towards me and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, get away from my bike. Like,
He's ready to fight.
Yeah.
I know. The only really cool thing is some of the gas stations around here, they have, where the nozzle goes in and you got to like compress it to turn the pump on. They have a little clip for it. It would almost be rad to buy one of those.
I have one.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. They used to sell them at Cycle Gear. You put me up on the screen there since your moderator isn't doing his job. Yeah, my brother bought them for me at Cycle Gear a few years back at Christmas. A little piece of aluminum that just kind of clicks into the shaft and then holds it.
I don't even want to admit how long it took me to fill up my damn bike the first time I ran into one of those nozzles that has the big piece on
environmental.
You need to really stick the end down into the tank just to get the thing to act.
How did you do it? Give us some describe it.
He's had a couple to drink, man. You just gotta just let it go. It was kind of weird for me. I was up on the island with Critter, and when you hit the pump and you turn it on and you have the little lock, and you can just stand there while it fuels up. I don't know if it's a BC thing or a Canadian thing, but it's outlawed. You have to sit there and hold it while it's pumping.
Oh yeah.
Like, what the barkle? That doesn't make any sense, but okay.
Yeah, there's a pretty good mix of both. Even up here, there's a lot of pumps you go to, and they've gotten rid of that lock, but there's still a lot where they still have it.
All right. I think this comment is absolutely 100%. I think we can all watch people trying to pump their own gas. It is awesome for sure. Oh my God. Lush. Okay, so anyways,
Like I told you, if
So
you
let's talk about kegs at Get Lost Find Yourself. 'Cause,
yeah, that's actually
there is a guy around here that helps support.
well, I help support the kegs by drinking the beer. Same. So it was kind of cool because we briefly talked about this when Critter was on here, short of I don't know, this one or whatever, and we were just kind of talking about like just the event and stuff, and then all of a sudden, I can't remember if Critter told me or if it was online or whatever, but it was also oh yeah, Owen Lush was buying a keg for everybody, and it was like instant hero, instant hero. So where did that come from, Mr. Owen? Were you just like, you know what, I need more beer in my life, or were you just like, I'll just try to be a cool guy?
no, I don't know. I just saw it. Critter he had on the page there that it would be like a BYOB situation because he
Yeah,
couldn't just do the legalities, like he couldn't get anybody to sponsor Keg. And so I just reached out to him and I was like, can I share a keg? Like, is that in like the legalities? Like, consider that like a sponsor, but I'm sharing it.
right,
And I was like, if you can find, like a just, a brewery somewhere that's got a keg you can get, like, just let me know. And I was like,
right.
I'll share the keg.
Dude, it was actually really good beer too. I don't. It was an IPA or something, wasn't it? I don't remember.
Uh,
I just remember drinking it. I was like, "That's tasty." It was pale ale. Yeah, I don't know. It was awesome. You're like, I think, just like the hero. You know.
oh,
Yeah, dude. So I know when we were up there at the Get Lost event, one of the highlights. It seems like everything comes around to the Get Lost event, But I think one of the main days for me that was the most fun is when you and I, Jonathan, Lance, who else went with us?
Uh,
oh, your dad was
Brittany, Valkyrie,
Yeah,
Lance, Owen, you, me, your dad. There were
Yep.
six riders plus the car.
there was
I'm
one.
missing. Oh, Aaron.
Aaron.
Yes,
I wanted to say
Yep.
Alan, but no, that wasn't right. So yeah, Aaron, when we all just took off and rode together that day, that was so much fun.
that was a good day.
Just, dude, it was so fun. I just enjoyed just riding with everybody and just like, and then it comes. I've talked about this briefly before, but it was like I was trying to shoot that day and try to get some pretty good content, and so I kept wanting to go like in front of everybody to get people going by and get some of those shots, maybe get some tripods set up, or at least go down and maybe see something that would be kind of epic scenery and kind of come back to it. And it was just kind of like it felt kind of like a dick sometimes. I was just riding by everybody, and I was like, they're not thinking I'm just some sort of a douchebag or whatever. But we got some pretty cool footage. I mean, all four of those, they have four parts to the event, and they all popped out. And then, but I don't know, riding around. I remember I caught up behind you for a while. It's even in one of the videos. I just kind of was filming you ride there for a little bit. It was pretty rad. And then I saw you put up the reel of me going by and stuff. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I enjoyed that. So
No, it was awesome to ride with you.
yeah, man. What was your best ride camp out event of 2023?
Is that even a question? Obviously, it was
I
the Get Lost Find Yourself.
Avi, right? I
Obvi.
love that
Yeah.
he's sticking up with the questions.
Actually, the only specific what did I do last year? The big trip in the States was that was a hotel trip. The other guys I was with, they weren't much campers, so we hoteled our way through that one, which was cool. I did
Yeah.
some camping on the trip I did down to the Turtech rally and camped there, but that was Turtech rally doesn't hold a candle to the Get Lost Find Yourself.
Yeah, I wanted to go to that, but things just didn't work out very well. And there we go. Read me adding comments. I don't know if I will go to that. I just feel like it's too big, too
So for
crazy.
me, it was the first big rally I'd been to like that. I went down with the guys from Vernon, like that moto app group. We rode in as a big group, 15-ish of us all together. So that was cool. We did a lot of hanging out there. I went down. They rode routes all day. My goal for that weekend, I was like, if I wanted to ride Washington, I'd just come and ride Washington. Like I really kind of wanted to experience the rally, so to speak.
Yeah.
So like the couple days I was there, I did a couple of test rides, and I did a half day training course the second day, and the rest of it I just spent walking around, kind of taking it all in, which was the goal for the weekend because I'd never been to one. So the couple of demo rides were super cool. The training was cool too. You can never get enough of that stuff. So
No, I agree with the training part for sure. What did you ride on the demos?
so I tried the Pan America and the Ducati Multistrada V4 Rally.
Nice. Which one of those did you like the most?
I would buy that Ducati in a heartbeat.
Really?
That 170 horsepower is something else.
A little bit
The
of
Harley,
relief right there.
the Harley was fun. I took it for a
Yeah.
ride on the street. A lot of power, fun bike to ride. I was just way too tall for that bike. And even with the windscreen all the way up, like it ergonomically, like it was so far off, like for me, I don't
Yeah.
think I could have fixed it. It felt very cruiser.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I left like I mean, that's a phenomenal bike. It's gotten great reviews, and I think for Harley's first kick at the Canada adventure bike, like it deserves a lot of credit because it's very capable in the right hands. But for me, it just didn't fit.
Yeah, I felt like when I rode it, I felt like it was a great sport tour bike. I didn't think it was an adventure bike.
Even that for me, like the windscreen, I can remember getting on it. When I first turned out onto the road, the first thing that came to mind was like my buddy's he's got the Fat Bob, which has got the big tires and it's like handles like a tank. And like that's what this thing kind of felt like right away. Like super fun bike to ride in the road. Don't get me wrong. I did a pavement loop on it, and I had a blast. But yeah, it was like some of the comments are saying, like it was just ergonomically so far off for me. Like I got on it and I remember wanting to adjust the windscreen right away. I was like, this thing's way too low. And I realized that it was already in the highest setting, which was way too far. I got on the Ducati, like the Ducati Fit, and like it was just it would take some getting used to. Like they actually took us in the dirt. It was a guided demo, not like the Harley. But it was fun. Like when we got back out onto the pavement and like as a group, and a couple of the guides in front kind of like unleashed them. So I was like, all right, like game on, and I did too. And yeah, it was a blast. Like just they were all equipped with quick shifters, and like that thing just wanted to wheel in the second gear. Like it was a ton of fun. If I was looking for a road specific like sport tour bike, I'd buy that tomorrow.
No kidding. That's pretty cool, man. I haven't ridden it, and it seems extremely appealing to me to get on that thing and just go.
Yeah,
dude, for sure. I have to do a little advertisement real quick because I see a lot. Not really advertisement. Sean's like, what? I just see I see some new names. So if you guys are liking this channel or whatever, man, head over first, give that a big old thumbs up for us. And then if you want to subscribe to the channel and see what this little goofball right here is doing, I've got a couple videos up there, might be kind of cool. So hit that subscribe thing. Okay, that's done. I appreciate it. Like Matt said, it's like, subscribe, share, not bloop, bloop, bloop.
I'll give a shout out there to Mr. Shadow too. I don't know if everybody else here knows him. I don't know him personally. We've talked back and forth a few times on Instagram. He's got some cool stuff on his page too. So
he really does, man. He and I have chit-chatted, I think, once or twice maybe in there. And yeah, dude, definitely a cool guy, cool page, full shizzles. What is with this going on right now? Critter, you started something? And
we've already been over it. Like if you need syrup pockets, you're not using enough syrup.
You know what? I think if you need syrup pockets, there's something probably wrong with you.
Your plate,
are far superior.
Your plate is a syrup pocket.
I mean, if you truly need the syrup pocket, you pour the syrup on top of the pancake, you let it go over, and then you take your fork and you lift the pancake up and allow that syrup to go underneath.
Right.
Boom. Right. I mean, it's like pancakes versus the waffles. The waffles are just like bougie, right? They're the same thing like Sean when he goes to Starbucks and he drinks this
Yeah.
freaking with his pinky out. He's like, "Oh my god, I'm having waffles." Oh,
It's like they gave it a shape and all of a sudden they call it a venti instead of a large. It's like, what's the point?
exactly. You take your Ventes.
And they call it a small, not a large.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
What's the nearest Starbucks to Fort McMurray?
We've actually got probably like 3 or 4 here in town.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah, there's probably 70,000 people here in town. Like it's not a small community by any means.
You see what I put up earlier? It's 1,240 miles from us.
Yeah. It's a minute away.
I had to look
Which
it
is
up.
2,000 kilometers for the rest of us.
Do they go? Bless you. Do they go through there for ice road truckers?
No, but we do have ice roads just north of us. There's a couple of reserves like north of here that the only time they have road access is in the wintertime, and they're ice roads.
Dude, that's crazy. What's going on over there, Sean?
Waffle Gator.
Just saying. Just saying. Do Wanderers, crepes. Those are actually better than waffles because they fit more inside of the pancake category. They're the bougie pancakes, if you will, right?
Nice.
I think I still have this on here too. So we just put this. I know it's an older recipe, but there you go.
Oh.
There you go. If you want to kick up your pancakes a little bit, this is actually freaking delicious to put on top. And if you're Canadian and everything's a little bit more with the whiskey there. So faux shizzles. What do we got? Okay. I'm trying to learn this and go back and forth, be more proficient like Matthew. Whatever. Starbucks, Moscow Moto koozie. Oh, that's rad. There you go. Moscow Moto. They probably will make something eventually that like
Be,
take off, throw it over your shoulders and put in all your Starbucks stuff.
to be fair, if they had a koozie, I'd probably have it. But I'm a Tim Hortons guy, so
Don't misspell or don't misspeak that, right? Like Tom, I called it Tom Hortons or something in a video, and I was like, nope.
Oh yeah, I
That's
said
not right.
I said it. Tom Hardy is what I said.
Yeah,
That backfired really quickly.
Right.
It was one of the worst breakfast sandwiches I've had, but
Yeah,
I was hungry, so
it's all right.
I gotta
I'm just
give
gonna blow over some of these things over here.
their food's gone downhill recently. It has.
It's $55 for a koozie.
oh,
They actually make them.
I have no idea, dude. But it's kind of funny.
This is not me
Everything's
online
expensive
shopping.
over there. Yeah, no shopping around here for sure. So yeah, man, we hit the 2 hour mark, man, and that's kind of what we had scheduled for, just chit chat for a couple hours and get to know all things Owen Lush, and I think we're doing pretty good with that. What else is going on with Owen? I mean, we got pretty into what you got going on. We know about a little bit of the winter stuff and going to try to keep up with your videos and stuff. Learn that you had a YouTube page, so make sure you go over there. Is it the same as your Instagram?
Yep.
So it has the underscore on it.
Yep. It's exactly the same logo and everything. So
yeah, all right, I'll be liking that here pretty soon. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and wind this down here, Mr. Jonathan. He's over there doing something. I don't know what he's looking at. I seen the reflection. Something says, can't read the first word, but the second word's definitely hub. Something hub. What are you looking at over there?
the only other thing that I have that'll be kind of new in the spring is like you guys probably all know Matt from Ladle Sport ADV.
Oh, dude, great guy.
Yeah. So my Africa Twin is actually wintering in his garage. So keep an eye out for some new Honda parts in the spring.
Oh snap! Now, he's not up by you, right? He's somewhere else.
Well, he's about 4 hours south. He's west of Edmonton, so it's about a 5 hour drive from here.
right? He sent Pop Cakes a box, and I've been so busy, I haven't been able to do an unboxing, but that is definitely in the works here pretty soon to get that all taken care of.
Nice.
And he sent Papa Cakes pretty cool little package for sure.
That's awesome.
Critter, I just sometimes I need to spell check, and you're right. The TOGUE was pretty awesome, and Kevin nailed that on Halloween. But yes, toque. I learned new words. In fact, Sean and I were just talking about that today with Tiffany and Brian. We're talking about the toques. So that's kind of rad. So Ladle Sports going to be throwing out some new AT stuff. That's pretty awesome. And yeah, as far as I think there was a question on there what I got going on this year. There's a project that seems like it's on a little bit of a standstill at the moment, but trying to get that off the ground, trying to find the right time. I wanted to get it. I wanted to announce it this month because it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. But like I said, things got a little bit on a little bit of a stalemate. So we're gonna get back on track here. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty rad. I'm excited to announce it, but what are you pointing at here, Mr. Jonathan?
Well, I'm just taken aback by all the waffle comments.
I know.
And
whatever.
I'm not sure. You didn't prepare me as a moderator to address these. Even Valkyrie, wished me luck, and I'm not sure what to do here. Yeah.
Ignore them. That's the best thing to do. The only reason they're coming on there is because we're talking.
So let's go back to the toque and the toque.
Yes.
So is it TOQUE?
Yes.
Or TOGUE?
No, it's Q.
Q.
It's Q.
And that's what I understood.
Okay, so I didn't know what a toque was, right? Mm-hmm. So here in the States, we call a toque a beanie. And that's just what we know them as down here. So I get up at the Critters event, and Summer comes up, and it was getting a little bit chilly. I don't remember exactly what was said, but anyway, Summer ended up putting a beanie on my head, and she called it a toque. And I'm like, what the hell is a toque? And somebody asked me, I think even Critter maybe asked, or it was you or somebody. And it was like, what's a toque? And I'm like, I don't even know.
Wait, do you think Critter would ask what a toque is? Think of that.
Well, I don't remember if it was him. Dude, there was beer involved. So I don't know. Anyway, so that question came up about a toque. And so that's when I learned what a toque was. And so I had a picture of it, and I think I put it up on Instagram, but I misspelled it. So I put TOGUE on it. Don't ask me. I went, and man, that thing went up, and it was like instantaneous. Bam. People are like, TOQUE, and you misspelled it and all this stuff. So it became kind of a thing. So then if you go to Tritter's live feed, he did for Halloween, dude, Kevin dressed up as me. And I got to admit, dude, I was taken back by that.
Well, he looked kind of better than you.
Oh, I absolutely looked better than me, for sure. But I was really
I like the new Critter as well.
Yeah, the new Critter was fantastic. The way that he, she, they. It's on. But the interpretation. When I saw that, I was just like, wait, what? Somebody dressed up as me? I would do, like I said, I was thinking, but the best part about that costume, well, two parts. One, he had the little baby stuffed AT-AT. I thought that was awesome. But Kevin also put on this, it was the same toque that I was wearing, and he put TOGUE on it. And I was just like, it's freaking awesome. So what do we got here? Canadian, the Canadian Encyclopedia, as it is. TUQE. Well, shoot. Okay, eat more pancakes. Yep. I'm just done with the spelling of it right now, so I'm gonna keep it. However, I don't know.
So really, I think put my face up here. So really, at the end of the day, you're just wishing for a toque for Christmas.
Dude, toques are awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even call them beanies anymore, man. I'm just straight up toque guy.
I don't think Owen goes outside without wearing one. Is that right?
I'm a baseball cap guy, man. Like it just that's all I
Minus
wear.
10. You still just baseball cap dude.
To be fair, again, I don't have to actually
To be
spend a
fair.
lot of time outdoors.
That's
So-
fair.
Well, yeah.
So what do you take? How do you get from home to work?
I've got
Drives.
a company vehicle, so it's either some big SUV or a pickup. It's company provided transportation. It's about an hour commute each way.
Oh, wow. So it's out there.
Yeah, my days. So normally, like a work day for me, so I do day shifts and night shifts. I leave the house at 4:30 a.m. or p.m. I get home 7 a.m. or p.m.
Okay. So that's a minute.
So when you're on duty, that's when you get your best YouTube live stream watching.
Yeah, yeah. Literally all of your guys' live streams that I watch, 9 times out of 10, I'm at work.
No, that's not bad. I'm trying to do the same thing, but if I'm watching when I'm trucking down the road, I end up hitting rumble strips and bounce off cars. Not very
So
nice.
I'm probably in my office is where I'm at. So
Wait, you have your own office? That's
I
cool,
do.
man. Look at that.
It's a shared office. So when I'm on shift, it's mine, but when I'm not there, it's somebody else's.
Man. Okay. Critter says you only work 3 hours. Okay.
Many a shift. Yeah, you're right. There's only about 3 hours of legit work.
Yeah.
Oh.
We all do that, right?
The rest of it, I like to think of myself as I'm like a first responder, right? Like it's just in case.
That's well said.
Yeah, dude. That is
I may not be working, but I am available in a moment's notice.
That's a thing, right? Being available in a moment's notice. That's pretty cool, man.
And
So
it
well,
comes
it
with
looks
the
like
territory with my job. Like it really does. Like there's nights where it's busy and I
Yeah.
am outdoors more, like supporting my crew and making decisions and that have to be made like relatively quickly and they're big time choices too. But yeah, it varies.
hey, there you go, man. It's pretty wild. Well, I can't wait to get riding some more, man. We're
September.
gonna have to definitely hook up and figure something out for the summertime. Make our paths cross somehow, one way, shape, form.
There's several of us down here. I'd love to show you around.
Let's do something for
You're gonna get
2025.
fired.
I got 2024 pretty well booked up. So
Yeah.
That sounds even better. Let's plan 2 years out. Riding versus working. Okay, twist my arm.
Yeah, he did. He did, but we all know what he actually said there, Critter. He said they left at 4:30 a.m. and got home at 7:30 a.m. So
Yeah.
long shift.
well, it depends. Yeah. So if it's a day shift, it's 4:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. If it's a night shift, it's 4:30 p.m. to 7:30 a.m.
Right. I see it. Oh boy. Hold please. Mm-hmm.
This is the point where he fires the moderator and tries to do it himself, but he doesn't. He didn't take typing in high school.
No, I could actually type. Just wanted to do it this way with a screwed up shoulder.
Screwed up shoulder.
I said I went down yesterday. Owen, you are my favorite, bro. Straight up. Now we're getting back on track.
They all just want free stickers or something.
Yeah, it's trying. I don't have any more stickers. So part of my ride yesterday, when I went out to the Warehouser area, and right before I got to the area that was actually closed, there were some people that were again shooting in a different area. It's hunting season down here too, so
Does it really need to be in the States though for people to be shooting?
No, they shoot year round.
It's actually not hunting season anymore.
No, deer season starts this weekend, I think. Rifle.
Then it's the last
Or not rifle, bow hunting for deer.
Yeah, they do a final bow, but
Yeah,
that's what all the people out now are just shooting to shoot like that 50 BMG at a rock quarry.
I know that was
Like, okay, let's take a sniper rifle to a rock quarry and shoot 50
I
feet in
know.
front of us.
yeah, it's 50 feet.
And then watch this dude crash on ice. Hey, did you at least give him stickers?
No, but that's what I was getting at. So I had all my camera gear going, and I came up to this truck that was actually parked in the middle of the road, and I had a bit of a berm, but you can totally ride around. And I was like, oh, I just want to go, but they were shooting into a big dirt berm, essentially the side of the hill, right? It was actually a good place to shoot it. To do it. I don't prefer to shoot out in the woods because as soon as you hit that trigger, you're responsible for that round. And that's just, I don't want that responsibility. So I shoot at a range. Right. Anyways, so I went past them. And as I was coming up, one of the guys was like, oh, dude, are you doing YouTube? I was like, well, yeah, I am, and he gave him a bunch of stickers and stuff. So he was like totally cool. And then Aaron down at Apex, when I went to pick up the ad out, he was like, hey man, can I have some of those stickers? So I actually gave him a bunch of motorcycle pancake stickers and a few VB40 ones that I had.
Nice.
It's like, yeah, man, here you go. So he's gonna put them all over down there at Apex. So that's pretty rad. So I'm actually out of stickers, so I can't do a sticker giveaway because I don't have any more.
I might have one or two of yours.
I actually got I got 3 of yours literally right here, and you got a new design, which is pretty awesome. Actually, you were making this bad boy and kept sending me little proofs and stuff. I was like, dude, this is rad. So, anywho, Scootin', Owen, you need to get some stickers. We need to do some sticker swappy swips.
Comments up there. I'm gonna work with. I think I got somebody here that does like logo work in the chat there. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, t-shirt giveaway.
It's a lot of fun to kind of go to events and trade stickers out.
100%.
Yeah.
Right. This is like the second or third comment I've seen about t-shirts tonight. So right now I'm trying to get things situated with the supplier. Honestly, it's been on my side. It's been just busy and trying to get just stuff getting done, right? But I'm going to get a supplier here pretty soon, and you'll be able to go to the Instagram and just click on it and buy whatever you want. My big holdback right now is trying to get it cost effective to ship to Canada. And I'm trying to figure out a loophole in that because it's ridiculously expensive, and I don't want people to spend X amount of money for a shirt here in the States and then double it to send up to Canada. So I'm trying to find a way to be more cost effective. If you do want a shirt right now, just hit me up on Instagram. I could do it kind of back order. You could just send me something via PayPal, and then I just get it going right now. It's not the best way to do it, but that shirt behind Owen is the only design that I have up at the moment. But I actually have 2 other designs for it, and one of which I'm trying to figure something out for the men's mental health. So I got an idea for that I want to do. I want to have a specific shirt for that. Matt, okay. Send me a message, Matt, because I will forget that, and you probably have your phone in your hand right now. So just send me a message. That would be super rad. So yeah.
That's what Chinese clothing.
I mean, we can talk about drop shipping.
They're not wrong.
No, drop ship it right to your area. Yeah, dude, we could do something. And then Owen, when you get your stickers and stuff, maybe get a shirt or 12. It'll be pretty rad. So.
Oh yeah, I want to know a Lush shirt.
Oh,
let's go.
Let's go. You still need an M&P shirt, and I'll get on that for you.
It's not like Smith and Wesson M&P. Wait.
I put that down there, and that's what I think. Firearms. Yeah. I'm on the M&P shirt. I see firearms.
That didn't even even come to my mind at all.
No, not at all.
Not a bit.
That is wild.
Sure, have a response.
Literally right now, my phone is going off. It's Tall Man. He's texting me right now.
Look at that. Is he on a Saturday night?
Johnny on the spot. Sure, it's his message. Cool. Well, we'll do the thing. So,
I'm looking forward to Owen's new sticker and logo. That's going to be cool.
oh, dude, absolutely.
Can we like something right on the face? 1 to 2 new reels per day.
So that's you put Owen's
it's
one
of the
the on it.
keys to like Instagram. Like consistency is one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never learned that, but I do. But I do notice every morning when I flip open Instagram, it's like, oh, there's Owen, new reel. Oh, that's badass.
Yeah, dude, for real.
That's like,
yeah, he's
hello, wake up before I get to breakfast or coffee or anything. It's Owen, new reel. Oh, I want to go there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. I'd say you just put Owen's face and you put Owen Lush ADV around there, and then you just put the real king.
It would definitely not be my face.
Okay, put a helmet there. You know.
Yeah, thank you. Trust me, I said the same thing.
You're lucky. You're lucky. I don't have a helmet on for this.
Right. So I'm not going to say who I got. I'll tell you guys off air or whatever. But I got a guy that's going to be on the podcast here probably in the next few months, and he never shows his face ever. So I reached out. We ended up chit chatting about it, and he was like, "I don't want it to be filmed, unless we do it creatively." And I said, "Just put the camera behind you, or just wear your helmet." And plug the mic into the computer or something. So we're gonna try to come up with a pretty cool way to do this. It should be a pretty freaking funny podcast, actually, and an educational one too. Because dude, okay, that's all I can say right now until we get him on for sure. But he's awesome, and everybody here knows who it is. It should be pretty rad.
That's cool.
Oh yeah. Oh, here you go. The real stud.
I need to catch that. Right fast. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, we could do that too. Good job, Matt. See, that's why you're thinking. We'll definitely do a big old backlight to him, so he just looks like a big silhouette.
Yeah.
That'd be rad.
So what's up next for you, Owen?
Just to make it through winter. Pretty much.
Like, are you staying up there though? Do you go visit family for the holidays to try to escape? Do you break out to Hawaii or the Caribbean in January or anything?
Vacation time has been completely eaten up the past few years with motorcycle trips.
That's not a bad thing.
To tie, like I said, we'll be planning for next year, and I got some parts to put on the bikes, and gonna work on some YouTube stuff, and it'll be summer before we know it.
Hell yeah.
That's the best comment of the night.
Yeah. It's just taking literally. I can't wait for the weather to get it's not even bad.
And I will say, like up here, like we get cold winters, we get short days, but it really makes up for it in the summertime. Like we get super long evenings. We generally get fairly nice weather. Like just as much as it's dark here in the middle of winter, it's daylight in the middle of summer.
So how long is your daylight in the summertime?
Depends on the weather, really. Like I've worked night shifts like on the longest day of the year where like you didn't need headlights.
No kidding. So you're that far north. That pretty freaking awesome. Imagine that far you can ride in a day like that.
It was interesting because
probably longer than you can.
Yeah, it was interesting because last year when I did the Continental Divide, I didn't realize that the farther south I got, the shorter the days actually got. So like when we got to the point where we were in like Colorado and New Mexico, like all of a sudden 8 o'clock it was dark. Whereas home it was, even though it was like the first half of September, like 8 o'clock it was dark. Home it was still 10 o'clock and very light out.
I don't think like Sean and I would even think about something like that.
Yeah, you almost can comprehend it.
Right. Because we're right in between the North Pole and the equator.
I think our longest, we still get 6 or 7 hours of darkness at our shortest or brightest day of the year in June.
Yeah, what he said. Freaking rad. Well, anybody got any last questions for the man, the myth, the real king, the real stud, the Fort McMurray? Oh, Fort McMurray. Letterkenny freaking things for days here. I tell you.
Letterkenny is so funny, but such a terrible representation of our country.
Oh no, I think that's why I think most people understand it's not a good representation, and that's what makes it funny. Because how many of the crazy shows like that?
They're
Are
hilarious.
just over the top, and you're just like, that's not hilarious for
And
sure.
in their defense, like there's a few that are just like that. So,
Oh, well, being so far up, if you were a Letterkenny guy, wouldn't you be the DJs from up north?
what's that?
Would you be one of the DJs from up north?
Probably.
Oh man. All right. So we got anything last? Or we good here?
Yeah, I think we're good. No more questions.
Yeah, man. Well, I think this has been pretty rad. We're at 2.5 hours roughly, and we still got 19 people hanging out here with us. And I'd like to thank all of you for stopping by and saying hi and interacting with us tonight. These lives are they're just a lot of fun. It's a fun way for us to bring the community together. I think a lot of us have a lot of jokes inside, and the comment sections is just it's a way for us to just keep the friendships going and just enjoying each other's camaraderie in here. And I think this is just one of the many ways that we can just keep that going when we're all not together. Because I know that you go to somebody like, say, Dork in the Road, who just hit his 100,000 subscriber, which is freaking phenomenal, but those lives are probably in the thousands, so it's not as intimate, if you will, as this. Because I think 90% of the people in the comment section, we've all met face to face at some point, so that really just kind of keeps the friendship going and keeps us up to date on what's going on with everybody. Owen, dude, thank you so much for coming on. It's always a pleasure to just hang out with you and, just chit chat and, hey, boy, I know I'm not saying it right, but next time I see you in person, I'll have it down, maybe. And I'll keep practicing. I'll keep hitting you up. Am I saying this right, man? But that's right. Pancakes rule. That is fantastical. And all these other comments. That's right, Valkyrie. Thanks. Right here. Prank. Hit that subscribe button and smash the like button. Jonathan, you got anything to say?
No, well, I just enjoyed being here. Like you said, it's a fun Saturday night. I do recognize almost all the names in the chat, and it's just a nice way to keep tabs on the community and keep us, like Owen, poor guy. I mean, we do get to ride a little bit this time of year, and you don't, and so I know that you do sort of live vicariously through us, and so
true.
Anything we can do to get you the next spring.
Absolutely, man.
I appreciate it.
Anything else there, Mr. Owen?
It's been a slice. Not near as nervous as it was when we started. So
that's a friggin' Lily. Again, everybody, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for sticking in tonight. It's been a pleasure, and we will see everybody here in probably a month on the next live. Until then, what do I always say? Eat more pancakes. Later, everybody. Good night.
Later.